Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Monday nighttime stream. We're live right now for Monday night time. Oh, yeah, it's time to get started. Let's go ahead and ping Instagram. Hey, it's Mr. Stacked. Hello, Mr. Stacked. All right, we're here. We're live. I feel terrible. I have nausea. Ugh. Let's grab this because I ate dinner. So it looks like our OP17 is shipping out. That's good. So OP17 on the way. And then let's jump over here and start adding our link to some of these posts. We'll go ahead and delete this. This post didn't do as well. What's the insights on this one? Low reviews on this post. Interesting. Says we've posted almost 2,000 times on Instagram at this point. That's a lot. Definitely a growing number. Grabbing all this. All right, we'll hit update on that. Good. Let's jump over here. All right. I haven't been on in many lives past few weeks. Been having a lot going on in life, but I hope you're doing well. Tell us all about it. What's going on? We are. All right, let's see. I hate to hear that. Probably good stuff, right? Like you found $1 million. You grew a pair of wings. Now you can fly. Posting this. How's it going, Mr. Tyler? Okay, let's head over here to Facebook. We'll close this out. Ooh, let's see. I'm getting messages here. Let's see. All right, there we go. Let me close that. I had a little question from a guy. And let me hit refresh on Facebook. Let's see. Tammy's here. What's up, Tammy? Okay. Let's see. I'm jumping over here. All right. We're going to delete this. Boop, and pop this in instead and post. I don't know if we actually get anybody coming into the YouTube stream from Facebook. Actually, it says here we have a couple people watching on Facebook, though. Hello, Facebook. If you're watching from Facebook, leave a little comment. Maybe I'll see it. The problem is I can only see it from my camera, from my phone. I can't see it on our iPad, which would be interesting if we could see it from our iPad. All right, so there we go. We've gone ahead and cross-advertised. Let's see. I updated the prices on some of my cards that were in the vault. Let's see. I got a guy who accidentally sent a vintage jungle pack to the PSA vault, which I did not want. Oops. It was my fault, though. Let's see. We'll also do some of these. Delete all this stuff. Delete. Let's see. My job lost its biggest partner, and they let go of me and 8 others that's been working there for years. Finally got a new job, adjusting to the new hours and some other personal things. Sorry to hear that, man. That's really rough. That happens a lot. You know, I've been doing this so long. What your story is not an uncommon story. Stuff changes, man. Sometimes you get a job and it feels like, what is this? Okay. Sometimes you get a job and you think nothing's ever going to change, and maybe it doesn't change for years. And then just one day out of the blue, it's all over, you know? So, yeah, I've heard stories like that many times. Well, I'm deleting some, what is this, Gundam card game? I'm deleting, did I already do this? Yeah, I already did this. Deleting some emails so that I don't have a bunch of unnecessary emails here. Okay. All right, good. Oh my gosh, I'm actually getting emails from Indeed.com asking if I want an IT job in software engineering. So they somehow have my resume from a long time ago, and they're using it. They're like, hey, we got software engineer jobs open for you. Crazy. All right, I'm going to delete some of these too. All right, good. So we're going to delete all these emails. Delete. Clean that up a little bit. Listing sold. I can delete that. Welcome, guys, to the late night stream. Let's go ahead and finish setting up the stream. So step number 1, we're going to turn on some ads. We've had some really big buyers in the past who, you know, you would recognize their names if I told you who. But basically, they got laid off, and the same situation, so they had to kind of stop buying for a long time. And yeah, it's just kind of rough, man. It's how life be. It's how it is. All right, let's see. We're going to head over here. Tossing this over here. I got some good news. Karis is pregnant. Yay! Tammy actually mentioned something about her being in the first trimester, which I'm pretty sure she is. But I was talking to her about that, by the way. And she says something very interesting. The embryo is already like, I don't remember what she said. Did she say it was already 4 weeks old or something like that? I don't remember what she said, the amount. But yeah, so since it's IVF, the embryo is already partially developed. How interesting is that? So it's not the earliest days. Some of the work's already been done. So the embryo is already at a certain stage. So hopefully that's a good sign. And she has to go back in for another blood test in 2 days. And then like in a week, she does like a ultrasound, and we'll just see how it goes. I mean, I still think that there's a chance something goes wrong, and I know Karis feels the same way. But it's better than last time where, you know, she wasn't pregnant at all after the transfer. It's got to work eventually because we're going to run out of embryos. I'm just kidding. We are. I don't remember how many embryos we have left. Let's see, or delete all this. So weird. I've got like embryos. They're like little human pods ready to be used. Okay, where are we? Looks like we have some orders here. We've got a Team Rocket Grunt order. Another Wigged Live Custom. You got it, man. And when was this purchased? This was purchased 46 minutes ago. Excuse me, let me test the website here. We stopped at Chris A. Okay, so that's done. So hopefully Karis becomes a baby factory and we get a baby made, man. I got to hurry and make a baby because I'll be like 100 years old by the time that baby's 18 if I if I don't hurry it up. I did the math. Like if I'm 37, I'm going to be like 60 or something by the time the baby's 18. Crazy. I'm going to be really old. So I got to, you know what I mean? All right, let's grab this. Running out of time to a certain degree. You know what we could do today? We could add OP9 to the menu. All right, there we go. Very nice. All right. And we're going to go ahead and pin that. Pin. There you go. Apparently, they'll be testing for a heartbeat like in a week. Because, again, the embryo is already partially developed. They develop it in a lab. Like in a test tube. All right. Good luck, Mr. Team Rocket Grunt. Whew. You got room for a man baby to go along with the real one? A man baby. It is. Let's go ahead and tilt this down a little bit. Good. So we've got an awful lot of these Mario poker cards. They're pretty clever. We sold some of these today, actually. Louis Sutton bought one. Another gentleman bought the Black Label one for $600. You think that was underpriced, $600? I don't know if it's underpriced, but it's gone now. Let's go ahead and grab this live custom. Here it is. Not even a slab away. Just bought it outright. Good. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good luck. Good luck. What we got? You've got Pommy. He's pretty cute. Okay. Oops, looks like the camera needs to be adjusted. Oh, man, it feels like I'm going to throw up, dude. So terrible. Let's go into Camera Pro. We're going to turn that off. All right, good. Mr. having the Gattaca baby. Yeah, actually, that's a little bit accurate. So they developed, I think, 10 embryos, and then they've chosen what they think is the highest graded embryo. They like grade them, and the previous attempt was also the highest quality embryo, so that one didn't make it. So second place winner is going in, you know what I'm saying? So it's really fascinating that the way that works. It is. I sat in the Bowser for weeks, maybe months. I sat in the Bowser? Let's see. Anything Black Label should be 3 to 10x the PSA value. Yeah, I guess I could probably ask 700 for it. Maybe it still would have sold. All right. Team Rocket Grunt, thank you so much. He says another spot in the Tyranitar. All right, he says put me on spot number 6. So here's the Tyranitar sublist, everybody. Going with the IVF 9.5, something like that. It's been a very fascinating process. You know, it's easier for the guy than the girl. I don't have to do as much of the work, but she like has to mimic pregnancy every day by stabbing hormones into her body. And yeah, it's just really interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 spots left on the Mega Tyranitar sublist. You guys will probably want to be in there. 3 solid jokes there, lads. Oh my God. Oh, the Bowser break. True. The Bowser break finally went off, though. All right. It might have been like a couple weeks. I don't know if it was a full month. All right. Now we have an order from Bill Barron. 2 spots in the sublist for Gengar Pikachu. Okay, Gengar Pikachu, which is this rare candy right here. So here it is, the next round of the Pikachu Gengar. Bill Barron. Can I have the other 9? I don't know what that means. Oh, the embryos? We are. There we go. Imagine I could get all of them grown into humans. That would be so interesting. There it goes. And then I'd force them to work. Get to work. Go do productive things for society. Ooh, look at that. That Gengar Pikachu is going nuts. It's at 16 out of 36. 2 more spots and it's halfway done. All right. Thank you, Mr. Bill Barron. Appreciate it. I was the first one in. Dang, you waited a while on that one then. There's a new one, but it's kind of the same deal. It's not being jumped into too fast. Yeah, I think it's just kind of how it is. There's so many things competing for attention on the table. Oh, I don't even see it. Where'd it go? Oh, somebody bought it. I forgot about this. Somebody bought it. We had an Ace of Spades Mario, and we were hosting a break on it, and somebody purchased it. It's gone. Well, we have this interesting Lego break. Here is the trade break with Charmander. You can make a trade to get in there. Here's Pikachu and Shanks. This. And here's that Mega break. All right, lovely. Yeah, I suppose we could start a new Mario poker break then, because the last one, it was sitting on the table and nobody was getting into it. And then somebody came in and bought it, I'm pretty sure. Any Gengar Pikachu collab is straight money. Yeah, I'm in agreement with him. I think this is top tier. This is S tier right here. Pikachu Gengar. How can it lose? Like, maybe it goes down in price one day, but it's like 20 years in the future. That one's going to be pricey, don't you think? Here we have Miss Tammy. She says, box of Riftbound Origins. Ooh, I like it. All right. And then 151 Pokemon Surprise. Oh, that's the good one as well. Okay, let's get it. So we got a Miss Tammy order coming up, guys. We had a big Lewis Sutton order in the daytime stream. He ordered $700 of booster packs and then an additional $125 of slabs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I bought the Mario Ace. That was the good one, man. That was the Ace of Spades. Probably one of the best cards in the deck, along with the Bowsers, in my opinion. Ta-da! All right. Pop this over here. Let's go ahead and grab your Riftbound Origins. I believe I had a restock on these Spirit Forged, so I think I got like a whole box of those waiting now. I think I got a couple boxes of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 8. And 9, 10. Perfect. There you go. Look at all that. Maybe when I'm aware of how much stock we have on a product, I should start putting that into the software so that when you're shopping, you know how much we have. I'm thinking of trying to source a fresh case of Mega Dream. I feel like we should get a fresh case of that. All right. Don't forget we have a jumbo pack break. You guys know the jumbo pack break? $40 buy-in, 1 in 4 odds. Just a cool round of cards. What if the jumbo pack break was actually way larger? What if it was like $300 and it was like all the packs, you know? That'd be interesting. Here we go. All right, good luck. Well, I haven't heard this song in a while. This is Animal Crossing. Okay, we've got Moltres, Miss Annie. We got Slowbro. We got Omi Star, sometimes referred to as Omi Star. Articuno. Slowpoke. Wank. Here's Jolteon. Mr. Mime. Marowak. Ooh, Alakazam coming out of your pack. Okay. Very cool. Okay. And last but not least, Moltres. All right. Moltres popping out. Don't forget about the Tammy pack. Yeah, the Tammy pack is in the, is it in the Poke Shuffles? I think it's in the Poke Shuffles. Cleanest handling of the cards on the net. Maybe. There's Alakazam. All right, you ready? So we've got Vayne and Bounty Hunter. Holy mommy. We are. Something tells me pirates didn't do their hair like that. Imagine it's like, you know, it's like a, I don't know, it's like, when I don't even know what era the pirates were from, what time period. But imagine it's the time period where people are traveling around in wooden boats, right? Maybe like the 1600s or something. I don't know. And, well, you got time to do your hair? Yeah, right, dude. Nah, I bet you the people who are running those pirate ships, I bet they were worn out. Here we are. Okay. Here we are. They didn't look like they were at a sexy Halloween party. They probably burnt to death by the sun and covered in crud. Scars, probably in the shuffles. Yeah, I think it's in the shuffles. Now we've got Convergent Mutation, Mind Splitter. So this is Origins, and it's a more expensive pack, and it's the base set for Riftbound. Here we are. Here's this guy, and here's Shakedown, and here's Swift Scout. Ooh, Swift Scout. Okay. Here's Wizened Elder, Daughter of the Void, and Anivia. Okay, Daughter of the Void. Howdy, mister and fellow card enthusiasts. 43 months, that's a long time, man. More Teemo. Here's Soaring Scout, Ava Achiever, Albus. Okay, 2 packs left. Last Stand, Draven, Unchecked Power. Unlimited power. All right, and then last but not least, Sprite Call, Hand of Noxus, and Lee Sin. Not to be confused with Holy Lee. He's Lee Sin because he does a lot of sinning. There you are. And also not to be confused with Johnny Sin. Lee Sin is not related. All right. 43 months. Jesus. All right, so you end up with a lot of these nice full arts. Swift Scout, Teemo, Leona. There is one full art. The Leona is a full art. Etched card, I should say. Okay, you got a bunch of these rainbow types. They're not full arts, but they have a rainbow foil pattern. So I suppose that means they're more rare. Okay, and we'll grab this. All right. Let's go ahead and split this into 2 pieces. And one more. There we go. I'm so dumb. I ended up accidentally sending some product to the PSA vault that I didn't intend to when I was shopping. God, I gave the guys the wrong address to ship to. Oops. That The Hobbit restock that I ordered, it's going to the vault. Oops. It's not even my fault. Here it is. Some setting changed it to automatically send it there. So sad. All right, Mr. Sunt, a bunch of tag slabs. to the vault? No. All right, there we go. I was sending my own stuff, though, that I'd purchased, and I was handing out the wrong address. Oops. It's being handed out automatically, and then I checked later when I realized it was turned on, and I said, oh, shoot, what I said. All right, speaking of tag, let's see how close they are. They got to be close. Oh, man, they got to be so close, man. We've got my oldest order with 259 cards is on questions, quality assurance. I'm sorry, not questions. Quality assurance. Right now, it's on quality assurance. Dang. Here's Spinnerack. Here's Call the Jedi. Here's this really cute BR Hello Kitty card. Look at that. That's a pristine 10 for $100. We've got this lovely Cape Mario. Would you guys like a new poker break? Because there is none right now. I'll make a new one. So at $150, it doesn't honestly even need to be a break. It could just go up into the live customs, I guess. But in case you feel like jumping into this for fun, here it is, 25, 1 in 6. So there you go. You got a poker break going on, 25, 1 in 6. Take a shot at this flying Cape Mario. He's really lovely. All right. The pirate era is the 1600s to the 1700s. No toilet paper, no bathing, no toothbrushes. Imagine. Yeah, I know. And you're trapped on this ship and you're just eating like, you're getting scurvy and you're eating like, I don't know, salted pork, maybe salted beef. And I think they ate like crackers, like really hardened bread. I think it was called like tack or something. I don't remember. But yeah, they didn't look like hotties. Actually, a girl like her probably got torn up by pirates. All right, that's that too much. Let's see. I'm just telling the truth. Poker. They talk about there being like pirate, I don't know, like captains that were girls. I always wonder what that was exactly about. There you go. Very nice. Let me go ahead and throw these away. Mr. Ahmad Arabi says, using the rest of my credit, 12 packs of Pitch Black. I almost said credits. Ready? Hardtack with stale bread. Yeah, that's right. So they cooked it, and then they cooked it, and then they cooked it, and then they cooked it. And what they did was they removed all moisture from it. Here we are. Okay, this shall come down to 0. Boop. I'll put that back in. According to the most accurate pirate movies ever, it's bad luck to have women on ships. I don't know about all that. That sounds... I've never heard of that before. Here we are. Pitch Black times 12. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, very lovely. Here goes. They used to soak it in coffee or water to eat. Yeah, exactly. They'd have to soak it for a long time. It's cool stuff. I mean, it makes me want to try it. But it really wasn't... I mean, the way they made it, it didn't seem like it was good to eat at all. It seemed like it was like eating... like wood or something, like wood or cardboard or... Yeah, tack was incredibly dry, so all moisture had been removed. And so it was like a block of wood, and you'd have to re-wet it in order for it to be edible. Here we are. Snipping this. How did they do water? I guess they probably had like barrels of water. There we go. They didn't desalinate water from the ocean, did they? I don't think that would be very easy to do. You'd have to have like a fire on board. All right, here goes. What we got? Here's Primarina Mega Dark Ride. Ooh. It does help to eat it if it's not so dry. Here's Pick-a-Peck of Pickle Peppers. Very good. Here's Drillbur. Yeah, those explorers were pretty important. Here's Zarude. We got Trumbeak. How else would we steal all the gold from the natives if we didn't go find them first? Here's Whalelord. Ooh. Actually, I was watching this really cool video for how they sort of like process gold a really long time ago. They had like this, they are Sill Valley. They had like a rock crusher, and it was set up with a water wheel. So, you know, they put this water wheel in to like a river or a lake, or they would feed the water above it, whichever design they went with, right? And then that would turn, you know, a pole, and that pole could turn a belt, and then they'd have this machine that would crush rocks. And that was how they sifted for gold pretty early on. Here's Brave Bengal. Not Brave Bengal. How about Brave Mega Darkrai? That'd be nice. We got Mega Zeraora. Water World is classic. We are. That moment when he eats that juicy tomato. This. And the girl and the woman and the girl are watching him eat it like, oh my god. And finally, Chew. All right, there you have it. Nothing too crazy in my opinion. I think this was kind of just an okay round. There's more packs left in the box if you decide to go any deeper, okay? Boop. They had that machine that Kevin Costner had on Waterworld. Pirates of the Caribbean. Let's see. Ba-doop. I feel like it's kind of a tough round. I mean, I like the Mega Darkrai card, but these are the only two cards I'd probably consider grading. And then Brave Bengal's an SR, but that's not good. All right, rough round, rough round. How deep are we into the stream? Already 27 minutes. We should set like a timeline or something for when the crowns are decided. 30 minutes, maybe an hour. Okay, let's see. I see we have 45 people in here. Take a second and smash that like button for me, will you guys? I'd appreciate it. All right, we'll put your cards away. Thank you so much, man. Let's get a little rotation on this. We have a new break you can join. You can join that Pristine Mario card. Ooh, this one would have been good too. So these are both cool. But look, so we got on the left, Pristine Mario Cape, and on the right, that's Tanuki Mario. Maybe we'll do this one next if no one buys it first. I remember doing a report on Waterworld and how we take things for granted. Really? That's funny. All right. Let's see. I just remember the people not liking him because he had gills and thinking, why would that get you in trouble? That's like a evolutionary advantage. You know, it's like this guy is the guy you want on your team because he can be underwater. That's a good thing. If the whole world's water. Here's Alex Silva. Hey, mister, may I have 2 boxes of Final Fantasy Blissful Eternity? All right, it's time to look into Blissful Eternity restocks because we are running extremely low on it. Give me a minute. If we even have a retirement at all. Hell no, dude. You think there'll be any money left to retire? They're going to give us euthanasia machines and say, why don't you just do us all a favor and go away? They're doing that in some places, man. It's vicious out there. All right, what we got here? Okay, cool. So it looks like we can very easily restock this one. Plenty of this product on hand. All right. Also, while we're here, I'd really like to get a look into whatever happened to the rest of our The Hobbit product. We should have had some of that coming. So let's jump over here. It's probably going to require me to log in real fast. I'm going to look up because we're waiting for more of The Hobbit to arrive, and honestly, it should have been here by now. I mean, there's no reason for it to not be here. Okay, let's see. Why does it not show me all this? We'll all be assigned to Terminator. Yeah, something like that, huh? All right, let's see now. A full refund was issued. Oh, so we got a refund on. We were trying to buy Gundam English, and it got refunded. Okay, well that's good to know. And then it looks like we probably need to go over here to learn more about whatever happened to the Hobbit. So give me a second. We're still trying to find out how I sourced it. Logan's Run is another classic. Oh, that one's really good. If you guys have never watched the movie Logan's Run, I watched that when I was a kid. And first of all, I had a great nude scene. But second of all, it was an amazing story. All right. Oh, finally. Okay, so the other Hobbit is on the way, but it's probably not going to arrive for a while. This took way too long. All right, I won't comment on it. There's no reason to talk about it. All right, good. So I'll go get your 2 Final Fantasies. I'll be right back. 2 Final Fantasies. Logan's Run is like, I feel like it's a story I would have written maybe when I was older and smarter and had a lot of thoughts about the world. Here we are. But it takes place like in this utopia in the future. Here goes Alex Silva. It takes place in this utopia in the future where everybody is young and beautiful, and you're inside of some kind of giant building where everything's perfect. And you don't even have to get pregnant. The babies are made in a test tube. So a computer gives birth to your children. And you have like a job that's assigned to you. And, you know, it's like a perfect communist utopia in a sort of way. And then at the end of the day, you can push a button and somebody will show up in your computer assigned room and give you sex. You'll just be having, hey, it's free sex. Everyone just gets to have sex with everyone. We're all good looking and hot, and you know, so it's this great utopia. But there's this sort of sinister reality behind it that you sort of discover throughout the movie. And in particular, first of all, you realize you're in a sort of a jail. You're not allowed to leave the building. You're not allowed to leave the utopia. But the other problem is, where are all the old people? Well, after you reach a certain age, and I don't remember what it was, it's like 30 or something like that, you like ascend. You ascend. They bring you back down and you're young again or something. Turns out the big dark secret, I guess this is the spoilers. Turn this off if you guys don't want spoilers, but you should go watch it, okay? There's a spoilers, okay? So if you don't want to hear spoilers for Logan Run, turn it off now. Mute me for like 5 minutes. So the spoilers is that what the computer that runs this is really important. A computer runs society, by the way. So there's no government. The computer runs it all. So there's like this computer in control of everything. And that's just, everyone's fine with that. But the trick is this. When you get too old, the computer kills you. So it sends you up on a lift and it kills everybody. It just gets rid of you because you're too old now. You're not useful anymore. And so you're too old to work, or you become like not useful to the machine anymore. So that was the trick. That's why the communist utopia works. You just have to get rid of all your useless people before they can become homeless or problematic or a strain on the system. Anyways, so this policeman figures out the story starts with the man playing the role of a policeman. And it's kind of a fun actor. The actor is actually, you might recognize him from Austin Powers. He's the guy who gives Austin Powers his missions. I don't remember his name. Was it Basil? I don't remember. But so that's the actor, and he's quite young in the movie because it's a very old movie. It's like a 1970s movie. And the story centers around a policeman whose job it is to capture people who are trying to escape the computer utopia. And he doesn't even get it. He's like, why are you guys trying to escape? He's like, why are you guys trying to leave? It makes no sense. We're in utopia. We have everything. We got food, drink, housing. Everyone gets to have great sex. No one has to be pregnant. There's no crime. No one's bad. But so his job is to catch people who are escaping this utopia. And he finally discovers what's going on. He learns the dark truth about what's going on. And then it's like, oh, snap. Well, I want to escape. So he ends up wanting to escape, and they do. And they escape outside into the real world. which they'd never seen before, because this machine they're inside of is like deep, you know, like into a, I don't know, like deep underground building or something, but there's just no way for them to see outside. So they finally escape, and it's really difficult because he goes from hunting people to being hunted, right? Because he's on the run. And once him and his girlfriend are outside, they realize, oh, wow, nature. We've been so disconnected from it. It's so peaceful and good. There was something about that. You know, the computer separates you from nature, and you sort of enter this mindset where everything's like, it's like living inside of a mall or inside of a video game or living inside of like your television, or, you know, there's this disconnect from nature. And nature's sort of this reality, you know, where it's like animals have a chance to die. Animals have risk. Animals eat each other, you know, so they get out into nature and it's like this whole other thing, and they're shocked by it because they had been so disconnected by it. And then throughout the final parts of the movie, they sort of discover that sort of there had been a terrible war and most of humanity had been wiped out. So, you know, this sort of fight to survive had led to really horrible things happening to the human race in general. Oops, hold on. We might have missed your hollow here. Let's see. Here it is. Joshua. And then I don't want to spoil any more of the movie, but that's kind of the direction it goes. And it was just a really fun movie. It made a long time ago, 1970. It's a very smart movie. It's like one of those stories like The Giver, you know, or Starship Troopers, or, you know, it sort of has like a commentary on the way. Whoa, another cloud pull. Wow, look at that. Beautiful. Look at that cloud pull. And they finally find an old person. Yeah, they find an old person and they're like, what the hell? They can't believe it because they've never seen one before. Because all the old people are gotten rid of in the perfect society, the utopia. Here it is. Nice. That cloud hollow is a great pull, man. Let's see. Basil Exposition. That's right. That's right. He ends up getting that role in Austin Powers, the same actor. But it's a really fun movie. It has a very old feeling to it that's really fun if you're a movie buff. And there's like a sexy nude scene, and you know, it's just very thought-provoking. There's a bit of action to it. It's got it all. Here we are, Ash. I enjoyed it. I watched it twice in the end and just really enjoyed it. Here we are. Great movie. Yeah, it's a great movie. I recommend it. If you've never seen it, go watch it, because I just described it in some words, and I haven't watched it in like 10 years, so I probably don't remember every detail, but so, you know, it's a lot more fun to go watch it. Here's Wool. It is Diamond Weapon. I think some of the motifs that sort of stand out is, what would society look like if everything was perfect? Everything would be so clean and uniform, and you could just have sex with anyone, any of the time, and that's great. You know, and when you're actually living that way for the rest of your life, I think that the people inside of that system, of course, didn't know any better, but the moment they stepped out into nature, they're like, whoa, we're kind of disconnected from reality, aren't we? Here's Ultima Weapon. Here it is. It must have been a really shocking movie for them in the 70s, because they could never imagine a world like that. What's crazy for us is we're actually getting closer to that. One day, our babies might actually be born inside of robots. So no more pregnancy. And we got Tinder now. Oracle. And our lives are a little bit more like living inside of a mall. Here's Urine. And they'll probably remake it. Hollywood is lacking creativity. Well, yeah, it's tricky, I'm sure. I don't think they're just lacking creativity. I think they're scared to lose millions of dollars. So they only want to use like brands that everybody knows about. But yeah, I don't know what they'll make. Who knows? Hollywood. All right. So that was box number 1, and it was a great box. You pulled this signature cloud out. Congratulations. I'm sure that's a profitable card if you grade it. This comes from Soldier's Return, so you can open up that set, that Final Fantasy set, if you want to pull the original version of him. And this one is black and white. The original version has all the colors. Da-da-da. I think so. 4-year minimum to become a teacher's aide, then more, I believe, but that depends on state regulations. You need an associate's degree to become a teacher. You ready? Here goes. All right. My 9th grade English teacher tried to convince me to become a teacher. I said I didn't want to be poor forever. Hey! That's so mean! I know what you're saying. But that's why you got to do a little OnlyFans on the side. I'm just joking. You guys hear about the teachers that got in trouble for that? That was a couple of years ago. Some hot teachers, and they wanted to make some side money, I guess, and they were trying to run an OnlyFans, and they got caught. Crazy stuff out there. Yeah. All right. There we go. Wahahaha. Logan's Run. That's right. What film is this? Logan's Run. Really good film. Made in the 1970s, and it's still very good to watch today. It has like a futurism feeling to it, so it's like watching Tron. It is. The ideas in the film are really interesting. All right. There we go. I feel like the film kind of predicts a little bit what the future would be like, and it does a good job. Like the idea of killing old people, that's not unlike, you know, the euthanasia concept that I was joking about earlier. Like, are you feeling too old? Kill yourself. You know what I mean? And that's a real thing now, which I'm not totally against the idea of euthanasia. Like, if you're allowed to, you know, let's say you have terminal cancer and you're just in shocking, horrible pain and you're degrading fast. Maybe, you know, being able to choose the day that you end it instead of taking forever and going real slow. Here you've pulled Arc. Ooh, Arc Full Art. So that's a different discussion, isn't it? That's a totally different discussion. Here's Ifrit. Garuda. Hasn't Canada euthanized 100,000 people? It's, yeah, it's popular, man. And some cases are more controversial than others. But yeah, so, you know, a society that says, are you a useless person? Are you a person who can't afford things? Can you not afford super valuable, super expensive treatment? Have you tried euthanasia? You know what I mean? It's kind of a exaggeration, of course. I'm exaggerating, but maybe there's a spark of truth to it. Kind of scary, right? But that is why we were talking about Logan's Run, because it kind of was similar to that a little bit. Like, don't get too old, don't get sick, because then the machine will need to get rid of you. All right, what we got? Beastmaster. Ooh. If I ever become old staying in the hospital, I'm going to request a DNR. Here's Torgal. Torgal? Yeah, I get it, though. Like I said, I kind of get it. Here's Ahriman. Ooh. It's a really complex ethical question, because it's like, there is sort of like, I think there's a point to it where it's sort of like merciful, but I think there's also another side to it where maybe it's sort of like aiding someone in committing suicide. So it's like, where do you draw that line? Really tricky to draw the line. All right. Beware of the youths in Asia. Got it. Yeah. Here's Lena. Lena. Here's great movie. Any other cool movies? Any other cool movies? I want to hear some cool movies. I should create a cool movies list. Cloud. Ooh, you pulled a Cloud here. All right, look at that Cloud. Good. That's a little morbid. We were talking about Gattaca, weren't we? That's what we were doing. We were talking about Gattaca. It was a smart movie. Here's Sildra. We're talking about Gattaca because Kirsten and I are doing IVF, and I've got like 8 embryos left, and they're just alive, and they're just frozen in stasis right now. There it is. And we were talking about how the doctors like grade the embryos between good and bad ones. Like, this one's stronger. We like this one. There we go. It's a really interesting idea. All right. Ooh, I like the original Matrix movie. I think that all of the Kung Fu kind of... I think the Kung Fu kind of detracts from it for me. It's too much like Kung Fu action-based. Plus the fact that Kung Fu is sort of like an inferior way to fight anyways. So they do all this cool like Kung Fu crap, but when you watch UFC fighters, they don't do all that, right? They're the best fighters in the world, and they don't do all that stuff. Some of it may be like grappling and kicking and punching, but it's not like, you know, like they don't do, you know, like there's some kind of cool guy from the Matrix. And the whole like sunglasses and the leather jackets and all that, it's sort of like, you know, it's a little over the top, but the ideas embedded into the story, they are interesting. Yeah, the idea that humans are just sort of plugged into a, you know, sort of like a biological battery extractor. and then they get plugged into, you know, sort of like a, I guess, a VR video game, and they think that they're alive in the video game, but they're not. They're busy getting harvested. Yeah, this is a good story. Yeah, it's cool. All right, Mr. Alex, let's go grab. But you know, it's a bit dated now. I don't remember the last Matrix movie very well. I remember it was really convoluted. Alex Silva, he had to make a deal with, like, I don't know, with like the computer itself. He had to make a deal with the computer or something. And there was like a key guy and the Oracle. It got really complicated. And Mr. Smith, he was like cloning himself, so he was like bad software or something. Yeah, it was a really convoluted one. Maybe I should rewatch that trilogy with Karis. She loves movies. She'd probably love it. Where's your bag? Did you need a new bag? I have a bag, he says. All right, let's go looking for it. So AL1, AL2. Let's check AL3. You're the one, Neo. You just have to believe. Uh-huh. Okay, we'll put this here. Let's grab this. They came out with the 4th Matrix movie recently. Not great. I heard it was kind of woke. I never watched it. I think it's kind of a money grab, at the very least. Because what other story is there to tell by the end of the 3rd movie? It's all wrapped up. So when they announced it, when they started working on it, my immediate thought was like, well, what? What are you talking about? All right, Mr. Alex, thank you. 12 Angry Men. Yeah, that one's fun. I had to watch that one in some college course. I don't remember which college course it was. I think it was English literature or something like that. Ooh, look at this nice, cheap Charizard. Here's a 9.5 Gengar. Here's Morning for Padme. Not to be confused with Evening for Padme. And here's Scizor. All right, Alex Silva's complete. Thank you so much. Carlos Chaveras says 1 Minecraft base, 1 Minecraft hobby pack. Okay. Can't wait for Matrix 5. Are they making a Matrix 5? I mean, Keanu Reeves is getting pretty old. Matrix was so popular back then, they probably could have capitalized on it more. You know? They could have started a new trilogy or something. I don't know. There's a lot you can do with that. Okay, here goes. Man of La Mancha was another great one. I actually did not like The Godfather the first time I watched it. Watched it a long time ago. I had a totally different girlfriend. Second time I watched it, I loved it. I was like, give this movie a 10 already. Yeah, I loved it the second time around. I don't know why it was. It's like it clicked with me the second time I watched it. I was like, oh, it all makes sense now. That movie was great. Godfather, that's a great movie. That's like a 10 for me. Villager, but yeah, the first time I watched it, I didn't like it. Oddly enough, here's Strider. Strider, all right, nothing too cool in this one. I'm going to reuse this as a sleeve. It's the Panini, the hobby pack. That's right, this one right here is a hobby pack. So in this pack, you can pull stamped card, or not stamped, you can pull numbered cards. I did not like The Godfather. It insists upon itself. Yeah. I don't really get that, but here we got Rabbit, Llama. Ooh, I like this one. Look at this one. It's like a title card. I did not care for The Godfather. Okay. Here's Drowned and the Dolphins. Ooh. Just saw the end of Oak Street. Very 80s nostalgic. I don't know about that one. You know, there's a lot of movies I've never watched. Like, I just actually watched RoboCop 2 and 3. And we only did that because we had watched RoboCop 1, like, last year or something. And we were so bored this weekend. We were shockingly bored. And we were like, well, maybe we'll watch a movie. Which, by the way, RoboCop 2 was excellent. It was really good. I give it a high grade, like an 8. All right, Carlos. I'm pretty picky, too. I'm pretty picky, and I liked it a lot. That movie was clever. Because you didn't know there were 2 bad guys, and you didn't know who you were rooting for. The bad guy corporation and the bad guy government, and they're both causing troubles. Only one person was good, and that was RoboCop. We are. All right. But it was kind of like, you know, what happens when society kind of breaks apart a little bit? Cloverfield. Oh, isn't Cloverfield like... Many years ago, Kirsten and I watched a scary movie where they were in a bunker. Was that related to Cloverfield? All right, we got Zapdos. We got... This is really for sale. This is the Jason Page signature. John Goodman. Yeah, John Goodman was in it. That's right. Now, I think that we were watching the second movie in a series. That's how it felt. There might have been a first movie that depicted like a monster attacking or something like that. And the John Goodman movie, where they're in the bunker, that might have been like the second part of it, like what happens afterwards. This is good for a picture in a minute here. We got to take some of these down so we can start adding new ones. He like loses his mind underground. He's super controlling. Markiplier's Iron Lung movie. I say we make a movie. Let's make a movie. Pokemon card movie. I think I would have been good at making scary movies. We are. All right. Let's go ahead and grab this. Okay. All right. Click. Very good. But we'll never know because I got a job opening Pokemon cards. That was one of my theories about music, by the way. So in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, the music is so good. Music's amazing. And you can include the 60s, too. I mean, they were really innovating in the 60s. 60s, 70s, 80s just explodes. It's like the best musical time period for humans ever. 90s is still pretty good. Kind of, you know, riding the coattails of the 80s. So 90s is still pretty good. Although you can tell it starts to change. And then 2000s is like, it's changed a lot. 2010s is terrible. 2020s, we're here now. It's just terrible. Music now is terrible. And I have this theory. Back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, there weren't that many computer science jobs. You didn't get jobs in tech. Back then, there weren't that many jobs at all. The job variety was way more limited. And then I think what happened is, as time went by, it became harder to become a musician and easier to get a high-paying job in medicine and technology. So everyone says, go do STEM, go do STEM, go do STEM, go do STEM. And then so you get all these smart people who in the past, they would have made music, but instead they went and got a STEM degree and got a plain paying job, you know, like maybe 100,000 or whatever. So those people never become musical artists. Whereas in the past, there were no STEM jobs, or at least very few. And so lots of those people who are like technically gifted, they don't become computer scientists in the 70s and 80s. They become musicians. That's my theory. I'm sticking to it. Yeah, everyone says, well, you want to get rich, don't you? You don't want to waste your time risking becoming like a musician because that won't pay the money. You know, that's not going to make you rich. Well, back then it was cheaper too, right? Life was cheaper. So you could risk being a musician because you didn't have to buy a house that cost $600,000. So you could take bigger risks. You could be like, well, what are you going to do, Johnny? I don't know. I'm going to go make some music for a while. All right. Well, houses only cost $12,000 right now. So you go do what you're going to do. Or houses only cars cost, you know, a weekend job at a gas station. So you go do whatever you're going to do with the music. It didn't matter back then. Now it's so, you know, we're actually poorer in a certain way. Our generation, it's so extreme trying to buy a home and trying to buy a car and food that now everyone's terrified and you can't risk making music. You're going to get slaughtered financially. So, you know, you got all these high paying STEM jobs, music's a high risk, and the cost of living is extremely high. So all these talented, gifted people who would have gone into the arts instead went into computer science. They work for, you know, they work for Mark Zuckerberg now or Elon Musk. And those guys, if they were forced to quit their jobs and make music, I bet you some musical genius would pop up. A couple musical geniuses here and there. Like, oh, dang, that guy's good at music. You know, so I think that's what happened. All the smartest people transitioned into computer science over time. Michael Jackson, Jackson 5, Cheap Thrills, Selena, Earth, Wind, Fire, the Beatles. Yeah, You can tell if you listen to like a history of music video on like YouTube and you listen to all the music, the musical generations, you know, classical is very smart sounding and there's a bunch of stuff around the classical time period. You know, there's a lot of religious music, but then as time goes by, you hit like the 1930s, 40s, 50s, they start doing the, you know, they start getting into jazz and all that. And then you hit the like 50s and 60s, they start getting into a little rock and roll, like the Beatles, that explodes. And then by the 70s and the 80s, now they're really starting to get good at it. But the 80s is just something else. The 80s, they get into like, it gets darker, it gets more sophisticated. They start experimenting. There's computer sounds. Oh, it's like an explosion of musical skill and musical experimentation. It's just such a good time period for music. And then into the 90s, it gets sort of like smarmy. Like I noticed that watching it, it gets sort of like the 90s starts to get a little more like people are, I don't know, how would you describe it? Like more depressed or something? Like they're like emo. Okay, so the 90s introduces almost like emo into a lot of the music. You get like this mix of like country and rock and, you know, but you start to get stuff like Green Day. And it's sort of like, I don't know, it's like a low testosterone thing or something. It has a very different feel from classic rock and roll. So you start to get this more like emo, low testosterone, feminine sounding rock bands, exactly like Green Day. And the whole time period just starts to fill up with that. Like even the rap music starts to get kind of more, you know, woe is me or something like that. You know, like, oh, you didn't know how tough life is for me, bro. You know, it was a little less cool and a little more focused on maybe sort of like psychological therapy or something like that. Like everyone needs to know how tough it is for me. But the early hip hop and rap wasn't really focused on that. It was more like focused on dancing. Cut my life into pieces. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like it's all very psychological by the time the 90s roll around, and it just gets worse from there. It just gets way worse. You get way, way, way more of that. All the music sort of turns inward into the individual's, you know, sort of like reflection on themselves, and it's always like this woe is me sort of personality type. Either that or extreme narcissism, one or two. Like, oh, it's so difficult, life's so hard. I was like, bro, you got air conditioning, you got refrigeration, you grew up in the suburbs, what are you talking about? Life's gotten better than it's ever been, and despite that, people are feeling like it's worse than it's ever been. All right, or at least they're describing it that way in their music. And perhaps that's a side effect, actually, of having a very posh lifestyle. You know, a kid growing up in the 90s would have probably been considered very posh compared to like a kid growing up in the 60s. Look at this. You know, so you get used to milk and honey or oh, I'll take cream on my waffles. And then when something difficult comes across you in your life, you go, well, now I have to cry about it in my music. That is a gym break for a spot in the Jungle Pack. One spot remains open. Anyway, so this is all the kind of stuff I think about sometimes. Here's some Umbreon Gold Star. The change in music, you know, it's kind of a big thing. Our music nowadays, I feel like it's not as relatable. Waluigi. Is this RuneScape music? We got some RuneScape music playing. Yeah, maybe life got so good that we got kind of wimpy. I don't know. Who knows what it is? But it was obvious that in the 1980s, like the 1980s had who's that? Hey, teacher, leave those kids alone. What band is that? I can't remember. It's called Pink Floyd. They just had like Pink Floyd, Pinball Wizard. There was so much variety and there's so much creativity. It was like we don't have that anymore. Doesn't feel like it. Now we get like Taylor Swift and all her music is about her and how she's shopping at Starbucks and oh yeah, she's on her 7th boyfriend and I don't know. It's just not the same. It's just not the same vibe or something. It's a very different feeling. All right, let's take a picture of this. What do you guys think of all that? What's your favorite musical time period, everybody? I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of this. So we're going to price up some slabs. We have an open queue. If you're wondering why I'm talking so much, there's nothing to open because we have no orders in the queue. Here's Torterra, here's Wisp, here's Waluigi, here's Yachiru, and here's Sanrio characters. Snoop Dogg can't even understand today's rappers. Sounding very boomerish, mister. Probably because I'm almost 40. That's probably the reason. All right, and let's go ahead and grab some of these. That might have something to do with it. All right. Oh, man, those are some rough grades right there. Let's see. These kids don't like good music. He's got old ears. His ears are old. They don't get it. Yeah, they don't get it. They got old ears. God, I hate these things. They're all sticking to each other. There we go. Most rappers nowadays are mumble rappers. Whee! Tossing that. All right, we got an open queue. If you guys are looking to have some fun, why don't you guys consider some of the new sets we have on the menu? If you're wanting some entertainment tonight, if you want some action, we have the new Dragon Ball Story Boosters. We sold a lot of that in the daytime stream, despite the fact that it was $18 a pack. Let me show you what that looks like real fast. Here it is. So they're expensive, and yet they're selling. Story Boosters, STO1, $18 a piece. These are brand new. They just released. That is on the menu now. We also have Oshinoko Volume 3. This is brand new. Brand spanking new. Oshinoko Volume 3. I've not watched that anime, but presumably somebody has. All right. Hey, mister, what do you think of K-pop? I know it's very popular. I know there was the Gangnam Style song. I don't know if that's K-pop, but I never really watched K-pop. I don't really have too many strong feelings about it either way. It is. Nowadays, I really just listen to a couple musicians. I don't listen to too many, and so I don't have like a broad musical variety that I listen to. It is. I listen to like Radiohead and Nine Inch Nails. That's about it. really repetitively. Here we are. I'll listen to other artists sometimes, but it's weird. It's like I've heard it all, and then I just stick to music that sounds like exactly what I'm trying to hear. Here we are. K-pop is strange, very influencer focused. Yeah, you know, people care a lot about the lives of the musicians, I guess, for K-pop, and I find that very interesting. It does sort of remind me of like boy bands from the past, you know, like NSYNC and all that. So, you know, the idea that people would like, you know, Korean boy bands or something, or girl bands, that does not surprise me. And then they pick people who are like, you know, talented and sexy looking, and it's like, okay, it is very nice. But as for me, I just like a really narrow set of music. Here we are. We'll go ahead and price some of these slabs up for you guys tonight. You guys looking for any new slabs? I listen to Ray Charles and James Brown. I'm looking to sell my PSA 10 Lightning Full Art Signature. Very low pop with Hidden Hope. Any interest? For me, no, because I don't have enough Final Fantasy customers. You're a Final Fantasy customer, but I only have a couple. But you know what you could probably do? You could send me a picture of it, and I can post it for sale in the Discord. That's a new thing. Anyone can do this any other time. You just send me a picture of the item with the sticker tag on it, you know, the price on it, and then I just repost it to the Discord server. In the meantime, you can simultaneously list it up on eBay so that you're you know, increasing your odds that it sells. There you are. Lightning Siggies from Hidden Trials. Yeah, that's that really hard to obtain one, right? All right, let's see. We've got Super Mario Brothers 3, and this is Boot Mario, and he's a 9.5. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to run into this card on eBay, so I'm going to choose my own price for it. You ready? 75 maybe? No, that's not low enough. It's got to be lower. All right, $65. I'll definitely do that. eBay doesn't have up for sale. Ooh, go get that bad boy listed up on eBay. You know, if there's one not on eBay and you've got one, that's like a huge advantage for you, the seller. So that's a great item for you to be selling on eBay. Excuse me. It's Monday night, Tuesday morning. You guys ready for ladies' night? Tuesday is going to be ladies' night. It is. We'll have a giveaway running for the girls and a break that you can purchase someone that you like in the stream a spot of. All right. This Onyx is not for sale as a BGS 9.5, so let's go find a PSA 10 of it. Ready? Wow, he's really expensive as a PSA 10. I guess it's because he's from Hidden Fates, which is from 2019. Let me check last sold, though. Okay, last sold implies that he's not that expensive. So I'm about to choose a price for this guy. It's going to be just $50 for this Onyx. Pretty cheap. Now, here is our good friend, Shiny Star Suicune. Shiny Star Suicune. 033. Boy, I'm sleepy and I feel terrible. I'm so sick from this Ozempic shot, man. It's crazy. Okay, so this is not a terribly expensive card. So we're going to be making this card $39. Wow, I feel like that might as well just go up into the Poke Shuffles. Actually, these could both go in the Poke Shuffles. And then this got a 9. That's so rough. Hope with Sephiroth, methinks. Hidden Hope? I think it's Hidden Hope. I guess. Let's give him a grade. You know, it's weird because I wouldn't have submitted him with anything on that corner like that. Is that really like, is that damage on the card, or is that like dust in the holder? See, when you tilt it like that, it almost looks like dust. I just can't tell if it's on the card or if it's in the sleeve with the card. Where should I send the picture? You'll want to send it to me in Discord. So any of you guys can do that. Anything you guys want to sell in our Discord server is now allowed. But the way it works is you send me a picture of it. That's how it works. So if you've got something for sale, you just send me a picture and then I repost it for you. All right, so this shall say Alakazam 203. Let's get a price tag on this guy. This one's really cool. He's still kind of expensive despite being a 9. So he's still going to be about $90. There it goes. Look at that. We got some cool slabs up here, guys. Neat. Fresh. You guys basically are getting first pick at this because, you know, what happens over time, people come in and they grab all the best slabs. So, you know, maybe they like this one over here or this one, or maybe they think these are a deal. Needs magnification. They sabotaged it. Yeah, that's how I feel. This XP system is weird. It is weird. Let's see. What time is it, by the way? It's 1:08. We should be handing out the crown spot. Let's see. It says Magician's Hobby is spot number 1, Andy Man is number 2, and Mark is number 3. I think we have to give it to Magician's Hobby. How you doing that, Magician's Hobby? How you got spot number 3? He's holding on to spot number 3, or spot number 1. He says, here's the free one. The reason I've been doing it this way is because I'm actually very curious if someone can consistently hold on to the crown spot in first place. Because if they can, that would imply that, you know, it's been a while since they released the crown system. That would imply that your actions are letting you hold on to a crown. Like, you know, another person who's been able to surprisingly hold the crown a lot, Cody Hodges. That's a guy who's always interested in the free giveaway. And so he tends to work on it a little bit. Like, he tends to work hard on getting the spot. And he notably held on to crown spots multiple times. So I noted that as well. Here's Zachary Standing. Thanks, Zach, for the order. 3 Chinese, 151 surprise. People are still trying to snipe that Pikachu Gengar out of the 151 surprise, not realizing how hard it is to pull out of here. You ready? We got to sneak this. Sneak. I would like to host maybe a new gym break or something. We need to get some new gym breaks up here. Now me, I wants it. Precious, LMAO, Andyman. Here's Golem, Slowpoke, and Ditto. Oops. Oh, I feel terrible. All right. I think I would feel great if I just didn't eat any food. But then I would feel weak from not eating any food. There we are. Put this back. Good. It's all changed now. It used to be 3 times an hour. Now it's like E. Did you mean E or A? Let's go ahead and rotate these. We've got Patrick, Warriors of the Force, Harry Potter. We got a new round of the Harry Potter pack break, so you can join this. Here's Victini. That's a consigned card. Mario Boot. That one's really good. I like Mario Boot. The Shanks break, which is kind of stuck. I feel like the Shanks break is stuck because we don't get enough One Piece guys in here. We used to sell a lot of One Piece, and it's definitely slowed down. Here's Mourning for Padme. Okay. And what's back here? Rhyhorn for 250 from the red deck. All right, let's take a picture. Sandbagging grabs the spot and dips. Let's grab this. Okay. Click. Okay. Good. Now, Patrick with the P. Warriors of the Force. That goes in here. Mario goes in M. Mourning for Padme goes in M. Rhyhorn, I think, also goes in the M box these days. It does. All right, because we had to bring balance to the Force. I mean, the boxes. Okay. Nemo. Some Magnemites. Another Mario. Dang, dude. Look how many 9.5s we got from that BGS submission. Lots of them. Look at this. This is hilarious. I always leave around this time when I have to work. No! He got the spot. Now he's dipping. I knew it. Fake fan. No, I'm just kidding. All right, there we go. Grabbing some of these. Good. And good. And Working Boy Nemo. So don't show these to Ivan. He'll go nuts when he sees them. He'll be like, ooh, cheap 9.5s. So this is Finding Nemo, huh? Almost time for me to buy new sleeves. Start stickering these. Forever looking. Here's Magneton. Here's Magnetron. Sunday night was really kind of slow too, notably. So in the daytime, we were exceptionally busy. Maybe the daytime is officially the more popular of the 2 streams at this point. And here's this, because I feel like that's been a recurrent pattern. There we go. All right. Not that it matters. Here's Game Stages Are Playing Super Mario. I think we're going to continue this $65 price range for the 9.5s. So if you wanted some fun, here is a $65 Poke Mario card. Okay, I really like this one. Do 65 on Nemo. And then I don't know about these. We better look these up. So these Magnetrons. Let's see what they say. The stream is always protected by trolls thanks to Tammy. That's true. BGS 9.5. Magneton 112. Okay, Magneton 112. And it looks like it goes for about $60. Is that right? One of them does. And then after that, the price jumps to like 80. I think I'll do 70 on these. Okay. Because I think these could be really nice in the Poke Shuffles if they don't sell off the table. Those are Shinji Kanda Magnetons. I love Magneton, and I love Shinji Kanda artworks. Wow, the table's looking kind of impressive. Look at that. That's cool, man. That's pretty cool. Yeah, there's something we ought to do every single stream, especially when we have a free moment like this. And what I think we ought to do is we ought to reprice everything. So, if we have an empty queue and we have the time, we should start repricing product. We got Terra Festival. What's a fast way? Actually, those Chinese sets are really hard to look up because you have to kind of like find one that you would be willing to buy. I think we can, well, let's see. What hasn't been bought in a while? Gem 5, Gem 3, Gem 2, Gem 1. I think what I'll do is I will lower the price of Gem 2. So Gem 2 is going to come down to $8. I'm not even going to look it up. I'm just going to lower it. It has 15 packs in it. So Gem 2 shall become $8. Oops. Okay. And then 8 times 15 is 120. Okay, 120. So Gem 2 gets cheaper. That's that set with the exclusive EVs in it. Let's head over to the website now and update it over there as well. I would advise not to lower Gem 2. It went way higher than the other gems. Really? Damn, Tammy's over here trying to save me some money. Gem 2 case. Let's see. Maybe you're right. I just assumed because it hasn't sold in a while. Hold on. Gem 2 case Chinese. I don't know. Let's see if we can find out about this. One moment. Here we are, volume 2. There's a whole bunch of them for sale. But see, that's the thing. You never really know who you can like really trust with these, but this might be trustworthy. Let's see this. All right, I like that. That's good. I'm trying to find like a basis of what it's really priced around. All right, so I found a basis. Give me a second. Let's do the actual homework. Oops. Divided by 20, divided by 15. Oh, our price of $8 would have been fine. So Gem 2 at $8 is still okay. So I'm going to leave it at $8. But that's good to hear that it's going up because I believe I bought the most of just that. But we still are going to lower the price by $1. So you guys are in luck. All the cards being holo, especially holo rares and exclusive. So we're still going to lower it from $9 to $8, which makes it more attractive. And there we go. If you think it's a good deal, go ahead and buy some, and I'll go in and order more of it. So that's a good deal for everybody. Thanks for the warning, Tammy. I appreciate that. So that's updated. 151 Journey and 151 Surprise and Hidden Fates. I like all those sets. Pokemon Korean. You know, the Pokemon Korean, ever since we raised the price of it, it has really not moved too much. Here's Terra Festival Korean. I feel like that one never sells. So I'm lowering the Terra Festival from 13 to 12. See, I think I'm not going to do the homework, actually. I think I just have the right to lower stuff if I want to. Korean Terastal Festival really pretty much rarely sells. That is an extremely rare one to sell. So it's going from 13 to 12. All right, cool. We're doing some price drops here, guys. Electric Breaker, Eevee Heroes. I don't think I'm going to mess with Eevee Heroes. It's too good of a set. Matchless Fighters, Lost Abyss. Those are all sort of fine. The Poke Japanese packs, the Jumbo packs. Hey, you know what? I feel like I haven't seen Sarah in a little while. I wonder what Sarah's up to. Storm Emerald, we already lowered that one. Pokemon Go, Ninja Spinner. How's Pokemon Go doing? We're just repricing a couple sets right now, guys. You guys like it when I lower prices? We're doing that right now. Okay, so here is a box of Pokemon Go. And let's see how it comes out. Okay, divided by 10. Wow, 21 is correct. Ninja Spinner, Nihil Zero, Mega Dream. Mega Dream needs to be restocked, in my opinion. Inferno X, Mega Brave, Mega Symphonia, Black White, Glory of Team Rocket. Let's do a check-in on Glory of Team Rocket. I actually have a lot of Glory of Team Rocket. This is RuneScape music, right? Yeah, this is definitely RuneScape music. Wow, sounds so nice. Let's see. Petition Snake and Cup of Coffee. I'm eating frozen blueberries and cherries. Nice. Here's Chinese Glory of Team Rocket. Wow, one case on... that's expensive looking. Let's see. Divided by... how many... It's always 12, isn't it? So 12 divided by 30. So it says here we should be able to sell Glory of Team Rocket at $11 a pack. Our Glory of Team Rocket is at $12 a pack. So our price is too high. So let's get the price down. Glory of Team Rocket moves down to $11. I'm going to hit save on that. And then I'm going to update it in the website. You know, we better check Destiny Rivals too, because if I heard it correctly, Destiny Rivals got cheaper. Is that right? I love that set, man. If I wasn't trying to move and that set got reprinted, you know what I would be doing with it? I would just be soaking up more cases of that. Because, you know, that's just kind of how... Okay, we got an order from Mark J. Valerian. You know, that's just kind of how it goes. The way it goes with those sets, when they get reprinted, they do fall in price. But like a year later, it all goes way back up in price like nothing ever happened. Mark J. Valerian for 10 packs of Yugi Rarity V. You got it, man. Let's get that Yugi Rarity V. Huh? Reprint happened from Destiny Rivals? I heard that it did. So I should see if I can lower that. All right. Exactly one pack left. There we go. Cool. This is a Mark J. Valerian order. Hey, Mark. How are you tonight? We got Mark with us, guys. We are. Snipping time. Tossing this over here. Oops. Reprint happened. Typo City. I've had snakes in the Philippines one time. I was just watching videos on snakes tonight. I kept getting these videos on like snake feedings. Don't tell Six I was watching that. They were eating a lot of mice. A lot of mice, a lot of rats. It was kind of crazy. I watched a rattlesnake bite like a fully adult like rat, and it died in a matter of like, I want to say like 5 seconds it was dead. Or at least paralyzed. Like, holy Jesus, man. You forget that their venom isn't really designed to kill a human, but it is absolutely designed to kill like their main food source, which would be like, you know, rodents and little birdies. Ooh, magic cylinder. So, you know, a shot of that snake venom takes you down super fast if you're a rodent. You are. Magic cylinder. It's super deadly. Okay, some hollows there. When's the DBS opening? Dragon Ball, is that what you mean? Dragon Ball is available now. It's just up to whether people want to get some action tonight. Their bank accounts might be a little dry. You know, there's always more action on the weekend on Friday. We are. Call of the Haunted. $18 a pack. The best part about the set is it's an absolutely fresh case. And so whatever the top pull is, SCR, double star, whatever, that has not been pulled at all. And so it could be you that pulls it. Who knows? And so that's one of the fun things about opening with me is, you know, it's a fresh case. You know, it's pretty untouched. You can watch all the streams and actually see what kind of cards have come out of it. You can see all that and try to snipe the case. You can say, hey, you know, I'm just going to search through this case and keep picking at it till a nice one comes out. That's one of the advantages of hanging out with us every day. All right, all right. Platinum Gadget. All right, no overframes this time. Bazoop. If we got hit with basilisk-sized snake fang with like a beer's worth of venom, we'd probably go down pretty quick. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, exactly. If you took like 2 full shots of snake venom right into your arm or something, yeah, that would probably work pretty fast on me. But yeah, so I was watching snake feedings, and because I watched one, I got a bunch of them, and they're pretty cool, man. Nature's vicious. It's interesting how nature really is just like a fight for energy. You know, if you think about it, like the reason the snake eats the mouse is to absorb it. Like our stomachs are basically engines. They're chemical engines. We eat something that has energy stored inside of it, and then our stomach burns that for us. So the snake eats a mouse so that it doesn't die from running out of energy. And it's kind of weird, isn't it? Like nature made us predators. You know? Not very angelic of us. We can eat the dead flesh of other beings and stay alive on that. That sounds very biological to me. It doesn't sound very angelic at all. What's your favorite DBS Fusion card? You know, I don't really have a favorite one, Mr. PKO. What about you? Can we sell sealed product to you? Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you want store credit, you can trade all kinds of things in for store credit. But if you're wanting cash, I'm also open-minded to that. We just have to come to an agreement on it. And I've had some customers give us good product before. Actually, a long time ago, I had this customer who sold us a case of celebrations for the 25th anniversary. And it was a whole case of ETBs. And I don't know how he did it, but he had it really cheap. Like he was just getting out of it. And then that case ended up having like a double charge art in it too. It was a really good case. So, you know, sometimes I do buy from the audience if the audience has something decent. I tend to be a little picky though, okay? Jordan Estrada says 4 Storm Emeraldas. All right, you got it. 2, 3, 4. 1 Ascended Heroes. 2 Riftbound Vendettas. That's the new Riftbound set. All right. We're heading into September. I wonder what I should pre-order for September. I need a new bag. Welcome back, Jordan. It's nice to see you, man. All right. Here we are. Why are a lot of people into goth girls? There's some kind of goth girl trend going on, which I find it a little bit, what would be the word? Inauthentic. Because when I was growing up, there were girls who were like goth girls, but they were usually girls with mental problems. Everything is pain. You know what I mean? Now, I think there's kind of like the rise of goth girls because it's more like an e-girl style, you know? So like, let's say you make spicy content. I'm an e-girl. Join my OnlyFans. And they're looking for different styles to sort of sell you, like fashion, right? So they're trying to sell you different fashion. And they've discovered there are a lot of guys who find emo goth girls kind of sexy. And so they're dipping into that trend, but they're not really emo or goth. I mean, they're not listening to Nine Inch Nails every day. There you go, let's see. There's only pain. Mind Rune, very nice. Everything is gray. You are. Existence is pain. They just don't understand my need for coffee. Yeah, that's right. Here's Endless Riches. Here we are. Yeah, so it seems to be a you know, sort of like a fashion thing right now for sexy goth girls, sexy e-girls, I meant to say. And I don't hate it. Yeah, I don't really see a problem with it. I don't think it matters. Stunfisk. There were girls who were into it because it was like you were a weirdo if you were into it, you know? Now it's not so weird. All right, what do we got? Speaking of weird, we had something come out here to Lake of the Ozarks, and it was down the street from me, and I didn't go to it. Something called like Clown Posse or something like that. You guys know what I'm talking about? Does that ring any bells? It's like these guys who dress up as clowns. And I guess they do like rap music and tons of drugs. Have you guys ever heard of that? Juggalos or something? You are? Let's see. Ooh. ICP, I think that is something I heard. Miss Alexis kept telling us about it because her husband kept having to go over there to like arrest people. ICP is the worst. Yeah, it's like these fat guys dressed up as clowns or something, and I think there was a 400-pound drug bust or something like that, wasn't there? Let me look it up. Camdenton drug bust. Several notable drug arrests during gathering of the Juggalos, Camden County Sheriff's Office. Let's see. Oh my God. Yeah, here it is. So this is on the website. This is the sheriff website. 45-year-old Kevin Jones has been arrested and charged with Class B felony for drug trafficking. He was held without bond. 128 pounds of weed. Wow. 2.5 pounds of magic mushrooms. This guy over here had 93 pounds of weed, 124 pounds of magic mushrooms. I mean, I don't know how I feel about those, but look at this one. 33 grams of ketamine, fentanyl, and 66 grams of meth. Wow. And then here's the next guy. He got arrested for 40 pounds of edibles. So, you know, Missouri made it legal to use weed and to sell weed in Missouri. However, it's still a controlled substance. So you have to be like a licensed business to do that. You can't just like sell it on the streets. And so if you do, you're going to get arrested. And I don't think the mushroom, I don't know what the legal status of the mushrooms are. I don't know. I guess they are illegal. I don't know. Those magic mushrooms, I don't know what to think of them. They're like another thing people want to have like deregulated, because apparently they're not that harmful. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. Magic shrooms, you say? I sent a Discord message of the 4 cards I'm looking to sell, all 10s. Very good. Make sure that you have a picture with the price tag attached to it, okay? And then what we'll do is we'll get you reposted to our Discord server, and then you guys can shop on the Discord server for this guy's cards. Pretty neat, right? We're doing that now, so you can just, anytime you guys want to sell a card, just send me an image and we'll repost it. Mr. Joran. That's a new thing. We started doing that very recently. New bag time, right? That's what he said, new bag. They rolling deep. Yeah, like, what the hell? Like, I'd read an article, 400 pounds of drugs have been seized. 400 pounds? Like, that's not even close to not being a drug dealer. You're just a straight up big-time drug dealer. To put that into perspective, there's just not that many people living where we are. I mean, this is a countryside with just I think like 90,000 people out here. The whole area, I'm talking about the whole Lake of the Ozarks, not just Camden County, but like the other side too. There's 3 parts to Lake of the Ozarks. There's 3 sides to it. And we're on the Camden County side, which is one of the smaller sides. And 400 pounds of drugs, like who even exists to buy it from you? You know what I mean? They're just traveling around. Hey, we're going to have a good time. You are? All right. But Alexis was telling me that it was actually pretty full of people. Like there were people from Australia. She was like, yeah, she had run into like people dressed up as clowns from Australia and all this. Pretty interesting. Maybe we should have gone, but you know, I watched videos of it online and I said, wow, that looks like a total shit show. Like, what am I going to do over there? I'm not going to do anything. Thank you so much, Mr. Jordan. Appreciate the order, man. The guy you sat next to on the plane weighed that much. I was watching some plane videos too, and I watched a video of a woman who was complaining because she was stuck in the middle row next to a huge guy on her left, and she was doing exactly what I was doing. Her legs were like knocked to the right, and then her feet were like down this way because it's like, where are you going to put your feet? So she had the exact same problem. Some huge guy in the chair, he's way too tall, way too fat, and he was spilling over into her, and I don't remember exactly. I might have saved it, actually. Did I save it? I think I saved it to show cares. I'm not going to look it up. All right, let's get back to it. I'm like going to show you guys this thing I'm complaining about. Miss Tina with the big order. She says, $150 Beckett WS Blau Sanrio character slab. All right. I think you might be referring to this really cute one in the middle. This one? Weiss Schwartz Blau Sanrio characters. Yeah, this one's great. Actually, you sent 150, and then $100. This one's surprisingly cheap. It's only 100, and then you sent 100 for Beckett WS Hello Kitty slab, and $90 for 5 of the Dragon Ball packs. Okay, so I assume you want this, but this was only 100, not 150, and then the Hello Kitty slab. This one right here. Nice. Oh, I see. No, it still evens out. Okay, gotcha. Look at that. These are great. Look how nice their label looks now. Label looks even more professional. All right, cool. Congratulations on those. I'm not surprised they sold. It's like what I said earlier in the stream. I said, when a return comes, the best looking cards tend to sell first. So look how nice this Hello Kitty card looks. It's a very adorable card. And that just does not surprise me at all that it sold off. Okay, so there we have it. And we'll set this over here. Now, you'd also like 5 of the Dragon Ball SB1s. These get pretty expensive, even at the launch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get a lot of cards, though. These are one of those specialty packs where instead of having non-holos, even the bulk are holographic. All right, good luck in there. Let's see what we got. Ready? Snipping this. Anyway, so yeah, the whole clown posse thing was down here, and I guess it was pretty loaded up with drugs. That sucks getting arrested too. That means those guys are just sitting there arrested. There you are. Okay. All right. All right. I don't know all these guys' names. Oh, wow, dude. Right away. SR Star. Totally worth it. So cool, man. Well, we've been opening these. We were opening these in the daytime stream, and yeah, it's handing out hits quickly, it seems. Here's Vegeta. We've got this card. Looks like an energy marker card. It is. All right, and here's some of these. Look, this is a reverse holo, and it's like a Dragon Ball reverse holo. That's cool, right? And that's a Majin Buu. Do you still accept trades? Yeah, I love trades. I'm a big fan of trades. No money gets passed between us. The only thing about trades is we have to work out something that we both like. That's all there is to it. So, and that could be a lot of work sometimes. It is. Ooh. Good. Let's go ahead and sleeve this up. All right, that's for you, Miss Tina. So these are tradable, by the way, when you have enough of them. And then let's go grab your bag. You didn't say new bag, did you? No, you didn't. All right. So you'd be in a TI box, which appears to be over here, because you got plenty. All right. Loving this big Tina order. Thank you, Tina. Okay. Hard to go wrong when you just straight up buy a pristine 10 slab, you know, like there's no RNG involved. You walk away with something that has this sort of, you know, default value. You know, a cute looking Hello Kitty card graded pristine 10 is always going to have a certain value. And you never know, you know, as that set gets much older, that card might become pretty valuable over time. I had a lot of cards that I bought for just about $100 back in the day, back in like 2019. And over time, they got really expensive. But it took time. That was really the trick. Like, you had to let it age like wine. You ever think about that? Wine gets more expensive as it ages. You know what else gets more expensive as it ages? Collectibles. So all you got to do is you have to have patience. And that's a very difficult skill for some people, is knowing how to be patient, you know? Patience is definitely, it's an expression of skill, for sure. You have to be able to sit there and be willing to wait out, you know, long time periods, whether the card's going up or down. If the card's going down, you're going to want to sell. But that's the nature of the cards. They always go down. Of course they go down. They go down, and then they go up, and then they go down again, and then they go up. And somehow, when times are bad, you have to have the patience to hold on to it. And that's really something that most people lack. Tina, you're going to get a couple spots here in the giveaway. Look at this Mario bread card. Do you guys like it? I think I showed that off yesterday. All right, let's see. Is it this card? Here it is. We got our ZELLE giveaway. All right. That's why I took the Black Label Kuromi. That's a cool one too, actually. So 8. We're going to say 9. Yeah, patience is very difficult. There's a time period where the price of the cards fell a lot during 2023 and 2024. And during that time period, I felt the urge to sell, and I did sell some. In fact, I sold some cards. Of course, we were discussing potentially moving at that time too. But, you know, I sold some stuff off. I'm always selling stuff. But there were some cards where maybe I should have held it, like the Crystal Guardians Blastoise. I regret that one. I wish I'd held that one. Really like that one. But yeah, there were some cool cards I sold off. But then also there were a lot of cards I refused to sell off. I was like, I'm just going to keep holding, you know. And that ended up being the most important decision that I made over the last 7 years of my life. You know, it's like a life-changing decision to do that. And it's hard to make that decision, you know. All right, I think we're caught up on orders right now. We have no orders in the queue. If you guys are looking for something to do, I'm going to go ahead and add some fresh cards to the table now. That's what we're working on. We got this BGS return. It's a great night to get this BGS return priced up. Today's what? The end of Monday. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Tomorrow's ladies' night, so I hope you guys show up for that. There'll be a slab. You can buy a spot on the slab, but not for yourself. You can buy it for one of the ladies. It is. I think it's a fun thing that we do. It probably promotes more people to come and hang out with us. We are. I'm going to throw this away and get some more sleeves. Mickey Mouse bread, not Mario. Did I say Mario bread? I probably said Mario. I'm so dumb. Excuse me. Look at this weird thing. So I'm going with the different brand this time. Different brand here. Cardboard gold this time. Can I trade a religious artifact that I relocated from the Vatican's secret archives? That sounds like a plot to a movie. There we go. All right. It immediately feels like cheaper. So it feels like a cheaper quality than the other ones we were using. I think it's wider too, actually. Yeah, it is. It's also wider, so it's cheaper and it's wider. All right, but that's all right. No problem there. Oh, and the lip is shorter as well. I don't think any of that matters, as long as it works. Okay. Start pulling these out of here. I'll pull this one out of here. Oh, I already read that. Okay, flip this over. If you guys are looking for some action tonight, you can head over to the description of the live stream to place an order. Maybe you're a new guy and you've never placed an order. Well, guess what? You can entertain the whole crowd by choosing to open, I don't know, maybe a box of Storm Emeralda, something that, you know, could end up pulling you that Chase Rayquaza Altart. That's a great card, you know. Has anyone jumped in the Jungle Gym battle with me, says Ryan. He's referring to this right here. It's a $23 gym break. Ryan is in. We're waiting on one more person to jump in for $23. Gives you a 1 in 2 odds of pulling a spot in the Jungle Pack. No, not yet. Not so far. Here's Rayquaza. And here's that Kuromi card you like. But this one's just a plain, pristine 10. You got the black label. All right, and here is a Darkrai. Cool. I wouldn't mind having Abraham Lincoln's top hat. Dang, dude, that'd be hard to own. That'd be really hard to own. I wonder if somebody probably does own that. Now, what is this guy? He appears to just be a typical Darkrai. And look at him, he's so clean, and they still said, nah, that's a 9.5. That's crazy. I decided the card was clean enough to send to Beckett, and they said, give this guy a 9.5. I don't know. 55 on this one. This Kuromi's so nice looking. I'm just going to set it up right away for $100. Okay. Here is a Rayquaza V from VMAX Climax, huh? Dang, dude. Crazy. So I guess we'll make this one 65 maybe. It's kind of an older card. I kind of drew that 6 really ugly. There's an Entei. Oh, it's from 2018 Super Burst Impact. All right. Let's make this one 35. And this is Luke, I Am Your Faja from 2017. That's old, man. 2017, huh? It's a promo card. I'll just make it 40 bucks. All right. There you go. Cool, man. Let's see. I wouldn't mind having Abraham Lincoln's top hat, or the quill used to sign the Declaration of Independence. iKush says, or some of that hemp kush from back then. Oh, yeah? Were the founding fathers all smoking weed? Yo, bro, what if we were all, like, free and stuff? The founding fathers were pissed. They were a British colony, but they got mad because the British government said, man, raise the taxes on tea by about 10%. That's it, just 10%, guys. 10%, and the founding fathers were willing to die and kill. That was all it took. They're like, hell no, bro, we're not paying this tax. Wow, I can't relate more to the founding fathers than right there. Like, dang, dude. We live in a society now that everyone loves taxes. I don't know why they think taxes are so good. When you have a government like in California where they will take, you know, like $10 million to make like a I don't know, like a bathroom or something, that make like an outdoor bathroom, and they'll somehow spend like millions of dollars on that. I was reading a report on that thinking that's got to be like corruption or something, right? Like somebody's getting paid too much to do a job, and then they're the cousin's sister's second best friend once removed, Uncle Waldorf or something. You know, like where does that money all go? Like who needs to be paid $2 million to build an outdoor bathroom? It can't be that much. So, you know, but they spend it that way, and then they say, well, now we need more. So now we need a 5% wealth tax on everybody in order to pay for our outdoor bathrooms for homeless encampments. And it's just sort of like, Jesus, dude, kind of bad. I'm surprised we haven't overthrown the government yet. Yeah, it's just sort of like, we've all sort of gotten used to it. It's normalized for us, but it didn't used to be that way. And the cost of living in America used to be really low. So it used to be cheap to live here. When people in the 80s were growing up, that would be like Gen X. A home didn't cost that much. A home probably cost like $80,000, you know, maybe like $100,000 at best. Houses were cheap. Cars were really cheap. You could buy a brand new car probably for like $10,000. Oh, what do I do with this guy? I should regrade. I should definitely regrade this one. That one should be regraded. And how about this? I think we're saving this one for a giveaway. Oh, look, this is the old label. Check it out. We could do a side-by-side. Wow, it's really a lot of changes going on here. Look at the symbol, first of all. That is very sexy. I like these new symbols around the bee. And then it lost a metallic, there's something in here that's been lost. It was a metallic sticker. This one's no longer, it doesn't have that metallicness to it. It's sort of a plain color now. So flip it around, and I'm really enjoying the back of the card a lot. They turned the back of the card into, first of all, a QR code for the website, but then they also added all of this security complexity to it, which you see that on the back of, you know, PSA and the back of CGC cards. So I think PSA probably came in and really did make an improvement to the label here. That's pretty cool. I wonder if Beckett helps PSA at all. Like maybe Beckett comes in and shares their technology for grading black labels with PSA. Like, here's how we do it. You know, because before that point, it would be a trade secret, wouldn't it? And now it's like just something that they both have because PSA and Beckett are part of the same parent company. It's all given to NGOs that launder the money. Yeah, I mean, that's the accusation. That's what we've heard. And there could be some exaggeration to that. There could be conspiracy to that. There could also be some truth to that. I've heard people use the term the homeless industrial complex, where it's like, why would you want to solve homelessness when you can make millions of dollars helping the homeless? You know, so they don't have a real incentive to make it go away, because if it went away, well, where are they going to get their government funding then? Because the problem is gone and solved. It's like putting yourself out of business. It's like putting yourself out of a job. If you have a job helping the homeless, but then all the homelessness is cured, it's gone, it's over, well, then you're fired. You're out of a job. So if your work is helping the homeless, you don't have a real incentive to ever truly solve it. just sort of want to keep it going, maybe even make it worse. But you know, homelessness is a really interesting subject. We've talked about it multiple times. Very often when people talk about helping the homeless, which is, it makes total sense to feel that way, right? Empathy, sympathy, compassion. But here's the problem that you get with helping the homeless. Okay, so you give a guy a free home. That's a pretty big deal these days, don't you think? Free home? Who doesn't want a free effing home? You could have some guy living in some yucky place in Ohio, and he hears California's giving out free homes. Well, he's going to leave boring-ass Ohio, and he's going to go to the beach in California and say, okay, I'm here for the free home. So all of a sudden, if you're giving free homes away, you attract everyone who's homeless from across the country to your one state. So you help one homeless guy, but you get 10 new ones who heard on the news or on the internet, hey, California is a state that just gives homes away. So this is a really difficult problem to kind of grasp. You generate more homeless people when you pay for homeless people, because then they start coming from all over the place. And then you run into sort of like this reality about the world. It's one of those deeper learned lessons maybe, and it's that there's many more homeless people than there are productive people. Productive people are like people who are, they've got a skill or a job, or they've got good mental health, or they have good, maybe they don't have good mental health, good mental health, but maybe they're very determined. Maybe they have strong perseverance. So they just show up to their job all the time. And what those people are able to do, they're able to produce and then feed themselves and house themselves and pay for their own medicine and pay for their own vehicle. So these are highly productive people. Maybe they're net tax gains. Turns out most of the world does not have those people. They're very special. If you're listening to this show and you work a job and you don't quit it and you pay taxes and you take care of yourself, you're kind of rare. Most of the world is full of slums and overwhelmingly large groups of people who cannot take care of themselves. That's actually the reality. So the number of productive people, I think, is always smaller than the number of non-productive people. And I think that's some kind of like law of nature or something, you know, like it's sort of like achievement in general. There's more people that don't want to achieve anything. And then there's a smaller group of people that work really hard and then they go off and achieve stuff like good grades, showing up to work on time, put in job applications, dressing well. Turns out those traits are rare. And the other trait, doing the opposite of all those things, that's what's common. That's the common denominator. So the common denominator for humanity is to just sort of like, kick back, don't do anything. So again, when you start handing out free money to like people who they don't accomplish anything, they have terrible mental health, they consistently are stuck on drugs, the more you hand out, you think you're solving the problem, but what you're really doing is you're kind of putting out a big advertisement. Hey, come over here. The free stuff is in our state. So you end up with a lot more homelessness. It's kind of crazy when you think about it because it makes perfect sense, right? It makes perfect sense when you put it that way. It's like, oh, that's why the problem's never solved, because the people solving it don't have an incentive to really solve it. And because the people who hear about all the free stuff, they just come from all over the place, like Ohio or Missouri. Why would you want to be homeless in Missouri, dude? Like, Missouri sucks. Missouri's hot, and then it's freezing cold, like deadly hot and then deadly cold. So we only have 2 bad seasons. That's it. Freezing cold winter and extremely hot summer. Those are our 2 seasons. We get a nice little spring, nice little fall in between, but you can't live in that. So if you're a homeless guy in Missouri, you have a lot of good reasons to bum off over to California and start sort of like sopping up those benefits. Anyways, I thought you guys would find that interesting. We have Mr. Musabot with 5 memberships. Damn, this guy just keeps donating. Holy, I think you're going to win the biggest donation of the month award. All right, but so that's what I think happens. And the real solution, when people say we're going to solve homelessness, they say, hey, the trick to solving homelessness is to give everyone a home. I disagree. The trick is to get everyone a job. That's the harder truth. Everyone has to have a job. That's the real solution. Because then they're productive and they take care of themselves. But when you start handing out free stuff, all the people who don't want to work or be productive, they all come to you like you've got, like flies to honey or like moth to a flame and all those other sayings. You attract all the homeless people to you, every time you get more and more generous. The more generous you are, the more people you get. You go from 1 homeless guy to 10 homeless guys to 100 homeless guys to 1,000 homeless guys to 10,000 homeless guys. And then you keep saying, well, if we just buy them a home, and they hear that, they listen to the news and they say, hey, I'm not leaving California. Didn't you hear what that politician said? He said they're building homes for us, guys. We just got to hang out here for a little while longer. The free homes are coming. You know, and so that's, you know, you're signaling to them to stick around and not get a job. Just kind of stick around and see how long you can make it. All right, so here's an order for Bill Barron. Spot on the mega sub list. Yes, sir. All right, that's another round of the mega sub list, and it is getting closer. Mr. Bill's taking a spot on it. Basically impossible to survive in Hawaii. Yeah, some states are really tough to survive in, homeless. Actually, we were in Las Vegas for 3 days, right? And they had homeless people too. They actually had a surprising amount of homeless, but they behaved differently. Like they had to hide places because it was so hot. So I imagine you don't last too long in Nevada. The heat by itself is going to rip you to pieces. So they probably, you know, if you stick around in Nevada and you try to be homeless there, you're just going to die from heat exposure. I saw homeless people. They were baked, dude. They had skin that was so dark and their lips were dried and cracked, and they would be laying like in a bush in the rocks, and they have like a big jug of water, and it just didn't matter. It's just too hot. And yeah, there was a lot of that. And they were all spread out. They didn't have like a special place where they all hung out together. Although I've seen those videos of the ones hanging underneath in the flood area. You guys know what I'm talking about? So I've seen those videos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in Las Vegas, they got a lot of gated communities because apparently theft is kind of a bigger issue over there because it's such a strong problem over there with gambling, because you get gambling in every store, every restaurant. Not every restaurant, but the gambling's all over the place. So you get a larger percentage of people who have a gambling addiction, and then they lose everything. They chose a terrible place to shelter. Oh, yeah, it's rough, man. All of my coworkers always talk about how it's a conspiracy and someone in our Hawaii state government is getting too money to receive all these homeless people. Well, you know, it would help if the houses were cheap, by the way. You know, you'd have less homeless people if the cost of living was lower. But we just don't have that because we keep printing money. You print more money and then the cost of homes go up. All right, we have Miss Tina. She says 100 Beckett Kuromi. I thought you might like that card. That's a really good looking one. Where'd the Kuromi go? Oh, here it is. All right, Kuromi's accounted for. I don't have a lack of compassion for homeless people. I spent a very brief summer homeless, just very brief. And it was when I initially ran away from home. I had nowhere to live. So I lived outside in the summertime in Missouri. And, you know, it really messes with your psychology to have exposure like that to, you know, just to be outside at like 4 a.m. in the morning in the dark, you know. And you're like bugs biting you and spiders crawling on you. It's really gross. So, you know, it kind of messes you up a little bit. But it didn't last too long for me. 1 booster box of Japanese One Piece OP15. Japanese One Piece OP15. You got it. That's the yellow box. Be nice if we had it in here. Let me go grab a fresh box, okay? But you know, you should try that for a day, or maybe for 2 days. Try sleeping outside in a bush for 2 days. It'll give you some perspective. It helps, at least. Helps give you perspective. All right, very good. You know, and I was young too. So I was young and pretty healthy, and I didn't have any drug addictions. So I managed to get a job and all that, and then voila, I had an apartment right away. The moment I had that job. I also had savings. That was another thing. Unlike my siblings, I was obsessed with saving money. And so when I left home, I think I had around $500 cash in the bank. So I had $500 cash and a debit card. So I wasn't really scared of running out of money for a little while. Here we are. There we go. Ta-da! You will need to ask your bank. What did the bank say? Crazy, my parents live on Kauai, a very expensive place to live. Here we are. Ready? All right, snipping time. Snip. Good. Snipping this. Sneep. All right, got some sneeps going in there. This is a whole box from Miss Tina of OP15. All right. There we go. One of the things that makes life a little bit harder on people who have no jobs and they can't find a job is actually, ironically, it's high minimum wages. There we are. High minimum wages sounds like a really good idea on paper, but it actually eliminates a whole bunch of jobs. Here it is. So, you know, when you have to pay somebody a lot of money to do a very simple task, instead of hiring them to do it, you'll just do the task yourself. And so a bunch of jobs get wiped out by minimum wage laws. Maybe the minimum wage laws could be like more sophisticated. Like maybe they could be minimum wage laws for specific industries, you know? But I don't know. People get really offended by the idea of a low wage. I like to point this out all the time, though. There is a company, one of the biggest companies in America, that got away with virtually no minimum wage laws at all. And it was YouTube, Google YouTube. YouTube, when I first started on YouTube, YouTube would pay me like 5 cents an hour, basically. I wouldn't get paid anything. And there was no law against that. I was technically working for YouTube because YouTube would receive my videos and then they would monetize it and they'd make money off of my videos. So I was working. Now, they don't categorize it that way. They categorize me as like a contractor or something like that. That's how it gets categorized. That's how they get away with it. So, but technically I'm working for YouTube. I'm making videos for them and they make money off of me. But they didn't have to pay me a minimum wage at all. They just pay me like, oh, your video earned a quarter. You know what I mean? And that was it. And so what's really fascinating about that story is how I worked a job that didn't have a minimum wage. And it was the most important, best job in the world. I got to become a YouTuber and I got to do this one day. So everyone complains about needing, you know, minimum wage. And the best job that I got was a job that had no minimum wage. It had no guaranteed income to it. And it paid very, very little for a long time. Like by the time I was making even $100 a week, it was like shocking that that had come. Like that I'd reached that point. $100 a week. Whoa. There we are. There we go. Minimum wage in Arizona is $15. I think it's something like $15 here in Missouri as well. But yeah, I mean, so Google kind of gets away with having all these people work for it, you know, making videos and then paying them essentially nothing. Yes. And so that's one of the reasons why they're such a profitable business is because they found a loophole. Like Walmart has to pay you minimum wage. McDonald's has to pay you minimum wage. But then one of the fanciest, wealthiest companies in the entire world, Google, they get away with paying you a nickel for your video that you spent 8 hours on. So it's, you know, it's interesting. So why would you be surprised that Google's so successful? They found a loophole to the minimum wage laws. Yeah, they found a loophole to that. All right, what we got? Here's a hollow. But as I was saying, if people need a job and they're just not qualified for a lot of different jobs, ooh, here's your full art. It's going to be Enel. Very nice. You know, so let's say you need a job, but you're not really qualified to do very much. Well, you should be able to get a job paying at least $5 an hour, $6 an hour. But those jobs don't exist because $6 an hour is below the minimum wage now. And so that job is gone and no one's hiring. So now you have to go after one of the higher paying jobs at whatever, like $7.25 an hour. And they might not be willing to hire you. They go, yeah, we don't think you'll be productive enough at $7.25 an hour. So that's one of the downsides to it. Here are. Maybe there can be government jobs. That's very sort of like, I'm not into that. That's very communist in my mind. You know, like the private sector should provide the jobs and the government should just provide the taxing of the private sector. That's such an elegant system, don't you think? government taxes the private sector then chases after creating jobs. So I think that that's an elegant system. You don't need the government to get into, you know, grocery and retail and real estate. You don't need the government to get into all those things. You just need to be having a government that's very good at taxing and nothing else, just taxing and spending. That's the government's job, is taxing and spending. But to provide people with jobs in like sort of like industries, it's very it's a tempting idea, because the government, I think, always gets tempted into getting into these areas. But the people who actually run the government are bureaucrats. They're not grocers. They're not financiers. They're people who don't specialize in these particular set of skills. I have a particular set of skills. All right, that's for Miss Tina. That's why I think it's more elegant to just let the government tax and then let the private market, you know, fill these roles in. But the government does get involved in business anyways. Like when the government set the minimum wage higher and higher and higher, the government's getting involved in business. It's saying, well, see, this job that used to exist, it's invalid now because, you know, you have to pay at least $25 an hour. And so all those jobs that paid like $7 an hour, those are obsolete now. They're gone now. No one's willing to pay $25 an hour to have you do, you know, job XYZ, so the job just goes away. It's very nice. I'm surviving on ramen, Spam, and luncheon meat with the rice cooker. Man, that sounds great, man. I love ramen. Ramen's so cheap and it's so delicious. They say it's going to kill me, you know. They talk about it's like got cancer in it and all that stuff, I guess. I try to eat like vegetables with it, and I try to eat like healthy proteins. But man, I love ramen. I should learn how to make homemade ramen again. I've done that before. It was a lot of work, and I didn't think it was that good. But yeah, I love ramen. Recreation tax for weed in California is like 33%. Thank you, mister. Thank you, Miss Tina. Let's get you those free spots again. Here you go, Tina. Tina's keeping us crazy busy today. 12, 13, and 14. So you're going to have spots 9 to 14 right there. Yep. That was Tina's order, and it was giant. I love Asian 7-Elevens that have all the onigiris and sandwiches. Yeah, I'm really jealous of them. You know, they got all these great walkable places, so you go walking, and walking's very healthy. And then at the same time, they've got like, you know, diverse, delicious foods that include more like, you know, I guess healthy ingredients, like what would you call those ingredients? Like whole food ingredients, maybe. They're not like super processed. Some of it's super processed, but not all of it. You know, like their sushi's not that processed. If it's just like a slice of fish and rice and seaweed, that's not that much processing. Anyway, so they get this great diet, and they get a lot of walkable spaces, and it just, you know, I get tired of bummy ass Camdenton with nowhere to walk. I've walked everywhere in Camdenton like 102 times, and I am ready to try something a little bit new. Oh, man, this house I'm in, though, it's so nice. It's hard to give it up. It really is. Oh, there's that Pikachu. But we got to get out of here, man. We're like trapped in here. Look at that. I'm ready. Maybe I just never own a home again. We'll just always rent. We'll just... Nah, I don't want to do that either, because if we do have a baby, we need to like settle somewhere. Running out of time. Here's Edward Shelton. 9.5 BGS Gengar and 3 Poke Shuffles. All right, here you go. I think you mean one of these guys, huh? So here you are. Pokemon investments don't matter when you got to pass away in 10 years. Well, that's true for all investments. Here's Edward Shelton. But I know what you're saying. You said in 10 years, and maybe you're referring to like getting a heart attack from having an unhealthy lifestyle, which is something I've thought about. Clean up your diet, mister. It is kind of getting cleaned up. I mean, I was eating a Factor meal today. I eat these Factor meals. You guys heard of that company? And it came with like pork, and there was egg, and there was potatoes. And then for dinner, I had like a small slice of like lasagna, and that was it. And I feel like I'm going to throw it all up because of this. The Wegovy drug is so freaking strong, man. So I didn't eat much else other than that. And yeah, it's definitely a lot better than what I used to eat. Let's see. Would you send your kids to public school? Oh, that's a great question. Perhaps. I mean, I was homeschooled, And so maybe I'm a little biased toward homeschooling, but Karis was public schooled and she turned out terrible. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think if it was a public school in a good area, I think that's how a lot of parents feel. If you live in kind of an area with a bad public school, you'll be like, maybe we'll homeschool. If you live in sort of an upscale neighborhood and you get a very high class public school, I don't think anyone's got a problem with that. But yeah, I mean, I think parents evaluate where their kids are going. And if you were to ask it differently, if you were to say, could you or would you homeschool your kid? I could homeschool a kid in like 2 seconds. I know all about it. I know all about homeschooling. I went to the largest homeschooling association in St. Louis for like years. And then also, me and all my siblings were homeschooled. I know all about it. I know the pitfalls of it. I know the weaknesses of it. Homeschooling has weaknesses. Here it is. How much is homeschooling? It's definitely not free. And actually, one of the things that's kind of sad about homeschooling, you know, my dad worked 2 jobs. He worked really hard and he had 11 kids. He didn't get a tax credit for homeschooling his kids. Like, we still had to pay taxes to Missouri for other kids to get to go to public school and have a good education. And then my family still had to pay that tax toward the public school. And yet then they had to go out and buy all the tools and the books necessary for homeschooling. So financially, it's not a very good decision. It's pretty weak financially. There's, you know, if you wanted to waste a lot of money, homeschooling's a quick way to waste your money. But my parents were so determined to do the homeschooling. They were scared that their children wouldn't turn out like good little Catholics. And look at me now, Mom and Dad. They are. Good little Catholics indeed, huh? Oh, wow. This guy's $180, but look at him. He's got a really high pristine grade of 994. That's like the highest I've ever seen it. Crazy. I wonder if I could send this card to Beckett for Black Label and it would have a shot. I concede, says Andy Man. What? What does that mean? Look at this good little Catholic boy. Yeah, that's right. I didn't turn out very Catholic at all. Like, pretty much the opposite. All right, so Edward, you need your 3 Pokey Shuffles. Let's get your Pokey Shuffles. Edward Shelton, 3 Pokey Shuffles. Here goes. Yeah, they were concerned about vaccines too for some reason. They were part of that whole situation where they're like, well, I don't want my kid vaccinated. So I never got the vaccines, and I never learned about sex education. We are. All right. Never learned about sex diseases. Never learned about safe sex. We are. 3 cold ones. I'm sorry, Mr. Edward. He wants to guarantee the crown. Oh, you're trying to get the crown. He has it right now. He has the crown. What time is this? 2:12? It's been an hour. That's actually... Mister, you forgot my Pokey Shuffles. Oh, we just did it. We just did it. It is actually an hour later. I think he needs to go on there. Let's see. Here you go, Mr. Andyman. Andyman, you literally have the crown right now. Now, we won't always do the giveaway this way, but we're learning about the crowns. And, you know, it's an interesting mechanic. It is. Did he actually buy the crown? So when he did that, when he sent in $2, did that give him the crown, or did he already have it? Let me see. It says he has 270 XP. Wow. Closing this. Will it let me close it? Won't let me close it. Anyman says yes. Ooh, okay. So we're gonna. So I will consider that. I'm gonna keep that in mind. That we won't always hand out the giveaway based on the crowns. Then maybe it'll be mixed. Like maybe we hand out 5 spots in a row, and one of the 5 spots is from the crown. It brought him up by 100 XP. Oh, very interesting. All right, let's see. I want the crown to matter, because if the crown is being handed out to the people who talk the most, I feel like those guys should get onto the... I feel like the people who are talking the most should get onto the giveaway slab, because it's hard to be the one who contributes the most to chat. You know, it is hard to do that. Chatting and buying. I was down by 5 points. I think Magician has a longer watch time. Oh, it's from chatting and super chats. That's right. Or more action while I'm driving to work. You know, it might also be up to the like button too. I don't know if it is, but I can't imagine why that wouldn't count. So but we don't know 100%. We're just guessing here. Let's check the website real fast. I chat about a lot of miscellaneous BS. So here we have a new order from Ki Hyun Ro. He's got a big one. And he says a box of OP15, a gym break on the jungle, and a spot on the jungle. All right, so the jungle's on the move now. Like button doesn't change points. It is. Grab this. Ooh. Okay. Good. And now he would like to be in the jungle gym break. Let's go get that gym break running. Grab this. Ryan Trejo and Ki Hyun Ro. Dooby-dooby-doo. Ryan Trejo. Kyle, Sergio, Ro Ki Hyun. Whoa, you got a big card, man. What the hell? That's giant. Is Ryan here? I don't know if Ryan's here, so we might have to put this down into the Breaks History channel to keep track of it. All right, so like this. And I shouldn't put both of those boxes away yet. Don't drip your crown king. All right, here goes. Many times the reaction, Cricket's like, I'm okay with that. I'm here. Good luck, Moosey. Ah, nice. All right, so they're both here. It's like Ryan Trejo's positive by 2 spots, and Ro Ki Hyun is negative by 1 spot. So he has just about a 50% return rate on these breaks. All right, good luck, you two. Oh, that's going to be good. Gyarados is strong. Gyarados beats Spidops. Round 1, Ryan. Round 2, Metal Energy. Ooh, Fighter Energy. Another Energy. Oh, that's a matching energy. So same energy type here. So that's a plus 40. He's 220 right now. Switch! Oh my God, he's got the switch. And he has the, okay, so there's a lot going on here. Okay, so he has a big hand. This gives him plus 20. This gives him plus 40. So plus 20, plus 40 is 60. He's at 200 health on this guy, which still loses to the Tyranitar. However, he pulled the switch card. So you're losing Tyranitar, and now you're going to pull Skeledirge. It's not over. He goes from Tyranitar into Skeledirge. So you had to play switch because his Pokemon still beat your Pokemon. And then when we did the switch card, he ended up pulling a Skeledirge. It's all tied up. Next round. Oh my God. The only way for you to win now is if he pulls another 40 HP Pokemon or what's the name of the Elekid? It's in the deck, so. Oh, he's got Electivire. He kicks your booty cheeks. It's going to Ro Ki Hyun. Wow. It really looked like Ryan was going to win there. When he pulled the deer with 200 HP from the energies, and then he's also got a switch, it really looked like Ro Ki Hyun had a high chance of missing. And then he pulls out a freaking Skeledirge. All right. So you're closer to break even now, Mr. Ryan, and Ro Ki Hyun is break even. Look, you got 10, 10, 14, 14. So your score is 14 over 14. Pretty interesting. Okay. There it is. Good luck. Is there a prize for the loser? Yes, so the person who misses pulls 1 Pokemon card. That's for you, Ryan. Now, and over here, you get another card. So he gets this energy card. So you're up to 2 out of 11 in there. Pretty nice. That's a vintage jungle pack. They only get more expensive over time. Throw me in for another round. All right, he wants another round. The gym breaks would be more fun if we had like more playable decks and they had like a different feel to each one. We've been playing that same one this whole time. Everyone's got it memorized at this point. All right, spot on the jungle. So you still need a whole box of OP15. I'll go get it. Oh, it's right here because I cleverly brought 2 boxes in. All right, cool, man. Grab this. I had like pain in my knee. So weird. Getting old. Getting old and squeaky. Squeak. Snipping time. Snip number 1. Okay. Snip number 2. Snip number 3. Snip number 4. And snip number 5. All right. I wonder if the 90 days is up for the previous round of the gym battles. I don't think it's been 90 full days yet. Maybe in September, though. Okay, here goes. We've got, oh my gosh, it's Wedding Nami. Oh wait, that's not it. Here's a holo. Here's a holo. Here's a holo. Here's Lofi. His name's Lofi. Here's, oops, a holo. And here's 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 a holo. You know what would be cool is if we could have people playing the VGS, the video game, in the live stream. Like if I had like a screen right here in the middle, right? And the way it worked is we will host like a tournament where maybe you get on one of those VGS websites where you can like build a perfect team. And then just have like a 1v1 real fast and see who wins. And then that could actually have real world consequences like, oh, you want to pack a card? Well, I don't know, because then that would be really good for people who are really good at the VGS. Might not be good for everybody. Here's a holo. Wow, that looks crazy. What is this? What am I looking at here? That looks like a manga, but I can't tell. Is this a manga? What is this? Kayla says, yo, that looks like Luffy doing his wound up arm. It looks kind of like a manga, but I can't tell. What am I looking at? Yeah, I don't know. It is. I don't think it's a manga, but I think it's something like it. Let's see. I'll take a quick picture with eBay. So those look like manga panels to me. Okay, so this card is worth, it's called a super rare holo art. And it looks like it's worth about $125. Wow, super cool. Definitely a card worth grading. All right, very neat. So it's not a manga, but it's a really nice looking card. Here's Wedding Nami. There you go. And here's a holo. And here's an SR. And oops, and here's a holo. And here's another holo. Oh look, that's very similar to that one. There we are. Very interesting. Here's a holo. And here's a holo. Very nice. Not a manga, but most call it a manga event. Oh, so he pulled a manga event card. Wow, that's super cool, man. Maybe we should get this on the August recap. It's a really good looking card, and it was interesting to see it. I'll go toss it in there because I don't think we've pulled anything too crazy tonight other than that. Okay, let's see. August recap. We'll say this was at manga event card around 225. Do you think that Louis pull should have gone into the Hall of Fame? I'm putting that Louis pull into the Hall of Fame. It was like a $5,000 pull. Oh, also the Amberstone Mythic Rare. I'm putting that one into the Hall of Fame as well. Okay, so the Louis Golden Energy Marker and the Jonathan Lewandowski Amberstone Mythic Rare, those are both Hall of Fame Hall of Fame clips now. I missed Sarah. I hope she comes back. Yeah, I miss her too. All right. And the Bulma DBZ pull. Yeah, the Bulma, that's an energy card. It's called like an energy marker or something like that. Bulma. I'll call it Bulma. Golden Bulma energy marker. There we go. Cool, man. That's neat. Now, let's put this into Mr. Roki Hume's bag. There we go. Yeah, a lot of cards. The Bulma and the Trunks, and there was another two. All right. Yeah, that was cool, man. Here's Mark J. Valerian. He says, to give away 2 packs of Yu-Gi-Oh! Rare DV to Miss Ray, because I'm a simp. Who's Miss Ray? Miss Ray? Let's go grab a fresh box. I'll need a fresh box. I'll be right back. Okay. Climbing over here. It's not even ladies' night yet. That's me, says Greek lady. Okay, let's see. Putting that there. All right. We should have a thing where it's like on ladies' night, we can have like a guys tournament where it's like, you know, like medieval times where they have like, you know, like a Renaissance fair where there's 2 dudes fighting and then one guy wins and he hands like a scarf to the lady or something funny like that. That'd be funny. There we go. Okay. Oops. So, set that there. What if we had a Renaissance fair night once a month or something like that? Would that be funny? Oh, actually, you would get the last pack. There we go. Last pack from the previous box. How would it even work? I guess that would work like, maybe we would play like gay Renaissance music, and then maybe, yeah, I don't even know. Maybe we'd have like some sound effects or music or something. Not a lot you can do, actually. All right. Ooh. Give to Miss Ray. Ready? I'm gonna snip this. Okay. This is from Mark. Oh, a little Dark Magician. And here's Stake Your Soul. From Mark to Tina, is that right? And now here's Chaos Angel. Ooh. All right. Did he say gay Renaissance music? You know, like with harps and stuff like that. So now that goes over here. Very good. I'm still trying to think of like you know, events or something we could host, because I feel like we don't have enough events. Good. I'll set that up there, and then let's rotate this. There's that backwards encapsulated toad. He could be a good giveaway. Maybe I'll just give him away. Gotta have giveaway fodder, right? No one's buying them, so yeah, I gotta have giveaway fodder. Toss that to the side for now. Let's see. August donations. 164. There it goes. Okay. Now, what's next? It's 4:40, so it's not very late, actually. It's not too late. The red eyes from this set is crazy cool. Looks like the queues. Oh, did you put that in my box? Lol, Jody. I put it into Tina's box. That was who it was for, right? Whose box should have gone into? Should have gone into Jody's box. Tina's a different name. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at this. Tina is the EX lady. I got it mixed up. My bad. Don't count on me having the names well memorized. My bad. All right, Jody Peterson. My bad. Wrong person. Still learning some names here. And I believe what we did recently was we created a temporary Joe box. Here it is. All right, very nice. There we go. My bad. All right. You know, we could do a charity night for like Red Cross or something like that. That would be interesting. I said years ago, I said one day when I'm officially Poke Wealthy that we'd start doing charities for people in need. Maybe that'd be a smart time to start transitioning into that. You got to keep an eye on Mister, especially when it gets to be this time. I think you just got to keep an eye on me in general. We are. You catch me drinking too much. I've had too much of the drinky. This guy wasn't even supposed to be up here. This guy was up here because we were having that trouble with Javier. Oh, we found out what was the deal with that Javier card. So Javier, Robert Wright, Javier pulled what appeared to be a Japanese Gyarados, and then we couldn't find it, right? Well, Mr. Ivan Rodriguez figured it out. It was because last time he had actually pulled the Japanese Gyarados already. No, he had pulled the English one. He'd pulled the card for the English one. And instead of giving him the English one, we gave him the Japanese one. Oops. And so this time he pulled the card for the Japanese one, but only the English one was still in the box. So we have to retrieve the Japanese Gyarados. And swap with English for Javier. So that is a task to do now. I love the Yu-Gi-Oh cards I got. Thank you. I wanted the Dark Magician. There we go. All right, let's take a look at this quick order. We got a little Carlos order. How's it going, Carlos? You guys want me to do another cheap box of that booty butt set? Okay, so Carlos says 2 Minecraft hobbies. You got it. 2 Minecraft hobbies. Here they are. Very nice. Ooh. Read my message, says Ryan. Ryan says, did you throw me into the jungle? Also, can I get a live custom store credit? Oh, so you literally meant that you had store credit that you wanted to spend. Okay. I did not know that. My bad. So, no, I just created a new card. I thought you were going to send in. No, let me take care of that right after this, okay? Okay, we've got the cake, the sky, obsidian, parrot, and husk. I'm a husk without you. Karis and I were watching IT Crowd again the other day. Even though we've already watched it like 3 times, it's still super funny. Great show. The humor is so cheeky the whole time. Ooh, no numbered card yet, huh? Okay, no numbered card for you. Here's Arctic Fox and Piglin. You're looking for a special numbered card to pop out. These were some cold packs this time, Carlos. Nothing but cold ones. You guys want to hear about a card set that I have right now, but it's like I never opened it? I bought an entire case, and it's gigantic, by the way. It's a humongous box. I bought an entire case of the McDonald's Minecraft play toys that come with the little holographic card. I bought that when the Minecraft movie came out, and then McDonald's had the collaboration with them. And so, you know, there were like 6 different toys, and each toy had a holographic card with it. And I said, well, I want those cards to sort of like remember when that first movie came out. And so I've got just this gigantic case of McDonald's toys sitting in my doorway. Interesting buy. Yeah, I think it was like $800 for the whole case, and I'm tempted to sell it before we move. All right, Ryan Trejo, store credit time. You better let me open some of that. Well, if I did, we would have to get into, you know, a sealed case of it, because right now it's a sealed case. All right, Ryan. So to get into this, you need $23. McDonald's employee made his bag. Yeah, you're probably right. He probably did. $25 plus 2 is $27, plus 7, which is $34. So you should have $34 left after this. Is that right? I feel like I did that wrong. No, it makes sense. Yeah. 57 minus 23 is 34. Now that makes sense. Now after that, you would like a live custom, which I think you have $9 left after that, right? There you go. Okay, you're down to $9. I should really use my $75,000 points on my McDonald's app. Very good. Very good. It would be cool if we had like it would be cool if we had some kind of like pseudo currency for just our little group. Wouldn't that be funny? And I wish I knew what it could be out of though. Like what if it was like marbles or something funny like that? A pseudo currency, and I set the rules for the currency, and it wasn't allowed to be printed or anything like that. Maybe it could be something as simple as like copper coins, actually, or pennies. No. It'd be funny if we had like golden coins. No, that doesn't make any sense either. PokeDice, TCC crypto. Maybe not TCC crypto, but like TCC tokens. Like you know how a casino has like poker chips, right? They got chips for playing blackjack and all those things. I'd love to have something like that. What if we just had a custom set of poker chips, and you guys could have, instead of store credit, you could have no, because that's not convenient either. Because sometimes you need to spend really, you know, ridiculously specific amounts of money, like $37 or something. Yeah, I don't know. Just something I thought about. Right now what we have is store credit, and that seems to work. All right, you ready? 1, 2, 3, and 4. There it is. 1 live custom. Good luck on it. TCC tokens tickets. Ooh, you got a cute little Poliwhirl. That can go into your bag. That's an XY era common. I feel like I should take one of these out of here now and put it back in here, because we borrowed from this bag the other day. Back it goes. All right. Does our currency gain interest? Hell no. That'd be interesting, though. Dude, if I did something like that, I'd get, like, in trouble by, like, I don't know, like, whatever government agency gets you in trouble for trying to sell financial assets. Actual financial assets, not Pokemon cards. All right, Ryan, you'd be right over here. They'd be like, yeah, you can't sell tokens that have interest attached to them. Maybe they would let me. I don't know. Who even cares? We're such a small group. Like, what, they think I'm like selling millions of dollars of tokens? Let's see. Sent to Zelle? Sounds good. Let's take care of that Zelle. We took care of Ryan. Mr. Edward, he says, 1 Simpsons pack, please. And can we see the Sonic card I pulled today in my bag? Oh, yeah, that was really cool, too. I really like that. Grab this. Ooh. There you go. There's a Sonic's pack. I'm sorry, a Simpsons pack. Okay, Edward. Edward, I feel like that pull should also be in the August recap. I will not encourage others to fly. Peace, man. All right. Let's see. We got Bart. Shut up back there, you little smart Alex. Stand back, comrades. The smell alone from the closet can be lethal. Smelly shoes. I said knock it off. We can never let him down. He'll kill us. My thoughts exactly. Oops. There's only so much hell raising a kid can take, man. I've seen these cards a million times now. I'm no supervising technician. I'm a technical supervisor. I think it'd be really funny to have like a complete set of PSA 10s of these cards, but no one's going to go through the effort to get that done. You know, it would take a lot of packs to get opened. We are. Maybe somebody's out there working on it. You never know. You never know. All right, and here's that beautiful Sonic the Hedgehog. It's a great job on that. Did you guys catch this pull? This is what you're trying to pull out of those Sonic packs, guys. These holographic Sonics cards. Wow. Looks so nice, dude. Very cool. Hey, my cousin and some family lives there. Putting that in there. Good, 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 good. Very nice. That's for Mr. Edward. Me and Mom were thinking of moving up there when she retires. There it is. I want to make sure that that poll, yeah, it wasn't. Okay, so let me go over here. That's Hall of Fame. Hold on, wait a second. August recap. Yeah, so at some point, Edward pulls holographic Sonic the Hedgehog. All right, there we go. Good. So I mentioned your pull in the August recap because I feel like it's cool enough. It should be in there. We're hitting refresh. The fraud here is so easy, so if you're a fraudster, come on over. Oh my gosh. Thanks, mister, for showing Sonic. Yeah, it's a great pull, man. Mark J. Valerian to give to Jody for one more pack of Yu-Gi-Oh! Rarity V. All right, here you go, Miss Jody. One more pack of Yu-Gi-Oh! Rarity V. Here we go. Ready? Snipping this. Oops. We got Magic Cylinder, Crimson Gaia, Sacred Dragon Archfiend. All right. Well, you're going to have a... Oh, not Sacred, Scarred Dragon Archfiend. Very different from Sacred. Girls like it when guys have scars, right? It makes us tough. Don't lie, ladies. We know you like it when we have scars all over our body. Like, oh, who hurt him? I can heal him or something like that. If a guy has no scars on his body, it's sort of like, who's this wimpy-ass, wet-ass, sort of like, look at this guy. He's pathetic. No scars? Well, he's never even been cut before? All right, let's see. Girls definitely love guys with scars. Okay. And what time is it? It's 2:44. We're 2 hours and 44 minutes in. Mister, what do you want again? I'm over here, you know, making broad assumptions about the female gender. You are. For example, I believe that girls like it when guys have a lot of scars on like their body and crap like that, right? I think it's like one of those bad boy traits. There it is. Whoa, this guy's been through tough times. Here's Gengar. You can say it's not true, but I just don't believe it. It is. All right, here's, whoa, that looks great, man. This card looks so good. I like that one a lot. I'm only into women who can use the transmutation circle by clapping their hands. They're transmuting without the use of a transmutation circle. How is that possible? They must be the Elric brothers or the Alphonse brothers. All right, grabbing it. And I'm just a dog of the military. I have a scar right behind my eye. Rolled off the couch after a nap as a 2-year-old right into a glass table. Ooh, that hurts. Yeah. The bad guy from Lion King is literally named Scar. Scar. Tough guys have scars. Oh, this guy's tough. He's up to no good. He's got scars. Oh, man, he's got scars all over his chest. All right, you ready? So this guy's so good. It's going to start at 150. By the legendary history of the Armstrong family. He thinks men have to be 6 foot tall with a 6-figure income. 6 feet tall, 6 inches, 6-figure Pokemon card collection, or don't even talk to me. There you go. All right. Now I heard a girl say that once in a sort of like a meme video, and she didn't say 6-figure Pokemon card collection. She says something like 6 figures. 6 feet tall, 6 inches, 6 figures. And I thought it was really funny. Had me laughing, had me cackling. There you are. All right. I love those Mario cards. Booty boop be doop boop. Scooby doo ba doo ba doo ba doo ba doo doo. All right. We got one that's being hosted as a break currently if you'd like to join it for $25. Let me show you it. Watch, it's a really good one. That's the Mario Cape one. 25, 1 and 6. It's a pretty short break. We've sold a couple Mario cards now. They're actually kind of disappearing, some of the good ones. I just priced these, so no one's really seen them yet. I mean, people saw them when I showed them off in the return stream, but nobody's seen the price on them yet. They're from 2015. They're well out of print at this point. Imperial build is the best build. Let's see. I can't do a cartwheel, but I can duel my opponents into submission to the Shadow Realm. I'm Dovahkiin. Oh my god. Funny as hell. All right. Very nice. Dovahkiin. Oh. What is this guy saying? He's saying... All right. I'm answering this guy. There we go. Very nice. Scooby booty booty booty. Whoa, we have a big Alan Abale order. 3 boxes of the Sneaker Bunko Volume 2. You got it, Alan Abale. Let me go grab that. kitty tried to come in the room the moment I opened the door. She must be so lonely. All right, here we have it, Mr. Allen. 3 boxes. Let's see what we got. Okay, Sneaky Bunko. There we go. Oh, 2 characters. Okay. Dang, ads so loud. I hate that too. Isn't that annoying? Not only does YouTube make you watch ads, but they turn the volume up for the ad. Like, you set the volume for how loud my show should be, and then the ad starts, and the ad is designed to be like 10 decibels louder. Make sure she can hear it. We got to get our money's worth. Man, when they do those kind of tricks, it just makes me not want to buy whatever it is they're selling even more. I'm like, oh man, screw you, dude. Make sure you notice us. Pay attention. We paid for this ad space. All right. One more box. All right, guys. This is Sneaker Bunko. Good. All right, and this is that Freerin? I can't tell. That's not Freerin, is it? I can't tell, actually. Where's Alex? I don't know where Alex is. No Alex tonight. Not a real stream. Time to sneak. Ready? Snip number 1. Snip number 2. Snip number 3. Oops, snip number 3. Snipping this. Alan Abale, welcome back, dude. I love the ZELLE order. If you guys are watching this stream and you didn't know this, I love ZELLE orders. ZELLE's a little bit better because there's no processing fee. PayPal takes a lot. They take like 3.5%. It's nuts. Here it is. And ZELLE's like, we can just do it with no fees. Like, damn, how do you do that, ZELLE? All right, there we go. Cool, man. Scoopity booty 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 buns. So I kind of jumbled these up when I sorted these all back into that. There we go. Whew. Blue Eyes, not the overframe, just the regular one. Hopefully one of these days the overframe Kubo. I want the overframe Kubo. Karis is watching an anime right now. Some anime about some hot blonde character, and she wants to be like a fashion character. Doggies, bark, bark, bark. Hello. Okay, here's a girl with like kitty cat ears. Probably just a casual, innocent anime. Okay, here's a blonde one. Here's a hollow. All right, and here's. Hey, bros, what up, bros? Hey, what's up? Oscar Resendez, what up, bro? How's it going, bro? We're just hanging out, bro. We're doing some bro stuff, bro. Here's a hollow. Here's a hollow. Bark, bark. There. Here's a hollow. Here's a hollow. How about a big Siggy? Can we get a big Siggy? Big Siggy would be nice. All right, one of these. You got a full art. 2 full arts. Okay, here's a little card. Let's see. There's a holo. My pride and soul, I decide my future. Come, blue eyes, wear your silly magic now, Ishizu. All right, tossing this. You must have really enjoyed Yu-Gi-Oh! Here's some holos. Here's a holo. We got a little holo. Aha, you got Tights Girl. She's putting on tights. They're very tight. She's a girl putting on tight tights. You know, I've got a sealed case of Sneaker Bunko Volume 1. I'm a little tempted to crack and sell that as part of our, you know, movement budget or whatever you want to call it. Okay, here's a holo. Oh, da-da-da. Good. And here's this. Here's a holo, and here's a holo. Cute little hairy looking things. Here's a holo. And here's this hairy girl with too much hair on her head. Boop. I'm more into bald girls. Wow, that's the first time you pulled this card, huh? Wow, that's one naughty looking card. What do you guys think of girls with, like, fully shaved heads? Like, on purpose, like punk style. Do you guys think that's sexy? I think that's crazy sexy. I love it when girls are, like, psychopath, like they got, like, something wrong with them. This. All right. Okay. Here's. Oh, ooh. I wish Mister could watch the scene in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where Kaiba sacrifices Obelisk and Gadget Soldier. It's like an epic moment. There we are. And here's... So far, not so good. We don't see a Siggy so far. We want those Siggies to pop out, but you know, they are hard to pull. Let's see what we got here. Might not be a Siggy round if you're unlucky. You still got a couple packs left. Okay. All right. Notably, also, you didn't pull the top Chase box toppers, which those can be really expensive, too. Oh, au contraire. You do pull a Siggy right at the end. Congratulations. There we go. I was getting a little worried for you there. There we go. In the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community at the time, it's not something that you would do in tournaments at the time. Oh, I see. Very good. This is a pretty Republican show, whatever it is. I mean, look, she clearly believes in Second Amendment rights and right to bear arms. There we go. All she needs now is a red baseball cap. Right. Then again, she might be like a sniper or a school shooter or something. I don't know. I'm just playing. Here's a holo. Whoa, look at this lady. There you go. They don't really do guns as much in Japan. They're really restrictive about it. So it must be fun to write an anime about it. All right, tossing this over here. Alan Abale's definitely in a better mood. He was probably feeling a little nervous as we approached the end. There we are. A little holo. 3 boxes is going to do it for you this time. Pretty sure we've all wanted to play our favorite card no matter the cost. Here's a holo. Here's a holo. All right, here's a holo. Here's a holo. Here's a holo. And there's a holo. And there's a holo. Aha! Very nice. All done with that. Alan Abale, new bag. Glad you stopped in, man. Tossing all these. Alan, we have a new set on the menu, by the way. It's Oshinoko Volume 3. 100% fresh. Not even one pack of it has been opened today. It just arrived, and no one's touched it. That's Oshinoko Volume 3, guys. Completely 100% untouched. Fresh case. First come, first serve on it. $6 a pack. Oshinoko Volume 3. All right. My supplier recommended it. He said Oshinoko was actually pretty popular. I was like, okay. I do remember Oshinoko 1 and 2 selling pretty fast. When I was in Japan, my husband won a sick Dark Magician figure. We are. That's Alan Bell. I don't want to hear about your husband. I'm joking. We are. All right. Whew. Alan Bale, you're going into the free slab. All right. There you go. You went to Japan? There you go. Ta-da! That's almost done. We've got Lego. This is the Lego Kanto Badges break. We have 1 out of 9 people in there. We need 8 more people. Spinnerack. Here's Goomba. Here's Consignment Victini. One piece. And, this is a really good one. Ace of Clubs Mario hasn't been snatched yet. That one's pretty nice. I have wanted to go since I was a teenager. Japan is the best. I've been a couple times. What? What are you guys, a bunch of nerds? Nerds? Pretty nerdy. I bet he blushes when he, like, watches anime. He goes, Oni-san. All right. I'm going to grab this and throw it away. Okay. We're going to hit refresh. Next up, we have an order from Ki-Hyun Ro. He says, bag sort, only when you got time for it. Let's get started. Bag sort time. So you have like a big box off to my left, and that's been sorted twice, I think. You got a baggie here, you got a baggie there. That's Jeff. Who's this? This is you. Who's this? Ahmed Marad. And Diane Bailey. All right, Diane Bailey. I haven't seen Diane in a while. Well, you can go to Japan for relatively cheap. That's because their yen is in the toilet. They're having an economic problem over there, guys. You know what caused their problem? Too much money printing. They created a huge debt bubble by overprinting, and they've never escaped it since. This Pikachu is pretty dang good. Drampa, Koraidon, Rayquaza. Rayquaza is pretty neat too, actually. Okay. Blitzel, Swoobat. Those are pretty nice. This is a main character. This Nami is pretty cute, don't you think? Thor versus Loki. I like that. That's cool, man. Not going to grade 10, though, I can tell. It's off center. And then you got a little Venonat. That's pretty cool. All right. I only ask because when I ask the Japanese tourists here, they don't know about what happened at Pearl Harbor and what it was about except for the old people. Oh, nobody thinks about World War II anymore. World War II was so long ago. I mean, it really was a long, long time ago. No one our age is thinking about World War II, you know what I mean? Here it is. I mean, maybe they are, but they're not trying to anyways. No one wants to remember it. It's a terrible thing to think about. Here's some of these dudes. Klefki, Ultra Ball, Fletchling, Pidove. This guy's pretty cute. You got some Hollows, Houndoom, Klauf. Lots of Hollows, Absol. Here's Lechonk. Some more Hollows, some Marvel Hollows. That's a textured card. Here's some SRs. You got some SRs. You got a little Loki Dawn card. Or, not Loki. My bad, Luffy. You got a Tentacool. That's nice. Okay, here's some vintage cards. Those are all nice. Here's some vintage cards. Okay, a little Spider-Man full art. A little X-Men full art. I like this too. That's a promo. It's pretty nice. Got some vintage cards here. Oh, yeah, that's a lot of good stuff right there. And then here's some Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty is okay. It's all technically gradable. What was this guy's name? Like Larry or Gary or something? That was such a great episode. That was the Parasite episode. Let's see. Isn't it always better to know history, though, mister? Oh, no, I agree with that. I think everyone agrees. It's good to be educated on the history of the world because it helps make you think about, you know, the mistakes of the past. But I'm just saying, like, young people today, that they ain't trying to think about that, you know what I mean? Like, if you try to talk to people about that kind of stuff, they go, oh, wow, you're so lame. It's hard. I would know because I can sense it in the audience myself. Like, if we start talking about stuff that's all serious, people just kind of clam up, I think. It's not that they have never thought about the ideas, you know, but it's like, nowadays, nobody wants to, people want to feel good, you know, that's what it is. People want to feel good all the time. And sometimes talking about that kind of stuff, it just kind of feels bad. All right, so technically these are hits, but I can see it's off center. I'll put it here anyways. Counter catcher. It's like miserable stuff, you know what I mean? Talking about the miserable stuff. Ooh, that's new. You just pulled that. All right. Wedding Nami, very cute. I'll put the Wedding Nami in here for sure. That's a full art. I like this Spider-Man, but he's too off center. Oh, you got a little rainbow here. Nice. Little card from Kayla. Okay, some more hollows. Put these near the front like that now. All right, cool. So we did a sort on your bags that had not been sorted before. There it is. So we had not sorted these before, and I found a lot of stuff in here. You can, of course, save this moment as like a timestamp and then rewatch it later. So you can come back and rewatch this. Okay, some Marvel stuff. Try and get all this non-Pokemon stuff into one group. All right, so we got some Pokemon stuff here. We got some non-Pokemon stuff. Check it out. So we got like Rainbow Bulbasaur here, but I think this guy wasn't going to grade 10. Then we get some Topps cards, and then over here we've got Venonat, Tentacool, Bellsprout, Poliwrath is neat, Arcanine's neat. This Meowth is great, and then you got Rainbow Rattata. So you got some cards from the Topps boxes. Okay. Certainly. I think I can do this, create a little sandwich like that, right? And then Dark Dugtrio is actually pretty cool. I like that one right there. Porygon's cool. Rattata Meowth is good. Eevee's good. If any of these can grade 10, that'd be great. But the problem is they are usually off center. This one's got a little bit better centering right here, the Corphish. This centering's good. This one's a little off. This one's clearly off. The centering is fat on the bottom. That's got an 8 on it already. Sadly, the centering on Gambler is good. It's always the card you don't want. It has good centering. That's decent. It's a little off. This one's decent. This one's decent. This one's decent. Okay. Blitzel, Woobat, they're all right. The Pikachu is actually pretty valuable in a 10, but they're very hard to grade 10. So there you go. You got a couple cards to look there with your Pokemons. And then, you know, out of this pile, what really stood out to me was definitely, that's kind of cool. I like this Luffy, by the way. So he's some kind of alt-art Luffy. Let's see. But what stands out to me is, this is cool too. So this is alt-art, what is it, Sabo? This card right here is great. So they call this a manga event card, is that right? So these three right here look really good too. That's on your One Piece side of things. So there you go. You got a nice little baggie of hits here. And then you got your standard stuff. Now, you also are able to get rid of some like junk out of here. Maybe later though. Did you sell the sports cards you took out of the junk packs? No, I never sold those. Those are sitting in a box right now. And I'm not very good with sport cards. I'm kind of sad because I actually gave a lot of those up. Like a doofus. Excuse me. I gave a lot of those cards up like a dummy in those junk packs, and they're probably all worth like 25, 30 bucks based off of what price they seem to have been going for. I think I remember what it was. I think I acquired those cards a long time ago from a guy who needed what's called a reverse slab away. It's called, have you guys ever heard of that? A lot of you guys are new, so you've never heard of that, but it's called a reverse slab away. And the way it works, let's say you actually want a money loan. Let's say you want a loan. You want me to give you cash. I do that if you give me collateral. Let's say you take $1,000 card, $1,000 Pokemon card, give it to me, and I'll loan you $300 of cash. And then you pay me back something like, I don't know, $350 or $340, whatever it is. And then once you're done paying me back, I give you your card back. Now, this is traditionally known as a pawn loan. We call it reverse slab away. You can take out a slab away on one of your cards and then just pay it down. Now, the thing is, if you don't finish paying it, it becomes mine. So you better give me my money back. And I believe the guy gave me a packet of raw cards in a reverse slab away, and he never paid it down. He just left the cards over with me. And I remember this because I graded the Pokemon portion of it, but I never did anything with the sports portion of it. See, some of it was sports, some of it was Pokemon. And so I think that's where we were coming up with all those like LaMelo balls and Webinyamis and all that crap. Like, that didn't come out of someone's bag naturally. That was part of the reverse slab away. And I was just giving them away basically for like $3 a piece. So I'm not very good at this, huh? Not good at sports. Catch you later, Mark. Yeah, what time is it? It's 5:20. That's wrap it up time. What do you guys think? Wrap it up time? Let's see what we got. Anything else? I'm going to check and see if there's anything left in the queue. It's time to go to bed, guys. It's 5:20. Good night, everyone. Oh, and mister, I had one more order if you could check it out. Yes, let's check it out. Hitting refresh. I got too many Playboy cards. I don't want the girl cards. Wish I had sports or something. Here we are. So Mr. Mark says, one more give to Jody for Yu-Gi-Oh! Rarity. All right, this is for Miss Jody. Yeah, they are junk packs, so the Playboy cards go in there because they are actually junk. And then the sport cards are super valuable and should have never been in there. And it was my own laziness and misunderstanding of them that allowed that to happen, but it's not actually supposed to happen. So that was an unusually, lucky junk pack situation. There we go. We got Sprite Jet. Is that what it's called? Sprite Jet. Here we are. I let that go on for a while too. I shouldn't have done that. I should have recognized that they didn't seem right. When I started noticing that there were like multiple rookies of like, well-known popular players, I should have been like, that doesn't have the pattern of being abandoned cards from an abandoned bag. And then I would have remembered, oh yeah, wasn't there a guy who gave me a bag of expensive cards for a reverse slab away? That's actually what clicked in my head later. And then I said, okay, we better make sure that we stop these and figure this out, test them out. All right, cool. So let me go ahead and do one more thing. We've got the giveaway card, right? The free one. So tomorrow's ladies' nights, basically for the daytime and the nighttime stream, we got a special giveaway just for girls. Here you go, Andy Man. All right, Andy Man takes it again. Andy Man on 9 and 10. Good. So I'm going to set this down here for a moment. Tomorrow is Tuesday's ladies' night. And what we do is just some nice stuff where we give stuff away if you're a girl. That's all it is. And guys can buy you stuff. So it's kind of what already happened tonight. Monday night could have been ladies' night. But we're going to be running that on Tuesday. So I hope you guys show up to that. And then we got to think of like more events, because I like the idea of like a rotating weekly schedule, where it's like every day isn't the same exact stream. Like there's different things going on each stream. I like the idea of that. All right, I'll see you guys there for Tuesday. And if you don't hit subscribe on the subscribe button, you won't get notifications from YouTube when we are live. So take a second and smash that button. See you there, guys.